Welcome to another live stream, guys. Another debate live stream. We're going to get into it again with the public. Today, I'm going to be talking to people in a public Discord server. It's the Animal Rights Advocates Discord server. The link is in the description. We're going to be talking to the non-vegans that are in that server. Non-vegans that come across that server. If you don't know, Discord basically is it's like a whole social media network, basically. It's like a whole social network, right? And random people can come across my stage, which I'm going to host a stage in there, and they can debate me. And today, the topic is going to be, tell a vegan what you really think. That's kind of what we're going to go for. I'm going to be encouraging people to actually say what they really think, you know, and be completely, like, brutally honest. That's the idea of what we're going to go for today. The reason I'm doing that is just give people a chance to be, like, brutally honest with me and, you know, not be worried about, like, scaring me or you know, hurting my feelings or whatever. Not scare. I don't think to be worried about scaring me, but you get my point, right? People are scared to say what they really think. And I think there's definitely a good, I've done this kind of thing before, but never like in a public way. Like, I've done it personally. Like, hey, just say what you really mean. Come on. And I think doing it publicly could be pretty cool. So, and then we can get some of these, I don't know, get some of these awkward little things out of the way, and then maybe they can just feel more comfortable, and then we can deal with some of these stereotypes or the, you know, things they've got, problems they've got with vegans, right? And yeah, I know what you're going to say, but, you know, vegans, it's not about veganism, it's about the animals. I agree with you, but at the end of the day, these are the kind of things that hold people back from learning more. These weird opinions they have about vegans and you know, things they've got wrong. So we're gonna jump in. And we're going to kick it off. So let's have a look. So whilst I'm doing this, whilst I'm setting this up, so I'll tell you a bit more about what I hope to do today. I hope we're going to get some good conversations. There'll be a bit of drama, most likely. We're going to get called some names, no doubt, but I'm ready for that. I'm up for that. It's going to be okay. I'm sure we can take a bit of abuse,
bubble,
can't we?
right? So the populations will rise and fall as they do. But humans, cows and...
So I'm going to shut that off for now. So that's just like a conversation that's already happening. This is the little box that's going to show you who's speaking. All right, so they're still talking right now in there, so I just need to take over. I'm just going to wait for my turn to take over. While I'm doing that, I'll give you a bit of an update what's going on with me. I've been doing some street interviews recently, some like actual street interviews, guys. Like it's been pretty epic, actually. I've been out multiple days in the week. I've been doing like a kind of special new style, which I think you're gonna like. Like it's a bit of a gimmick. So I've got them. 1 second. I'm gonna have to turn that down. I've got those guys talking in my ear. You see. I'm just making sure it's not coming through the speakers. It's very distracting, but I can't mute it. Hold up, guys. I'm just trying to get into the server. Anyway, right. So I'll just talk. I can hear it in my ears. These guys are having a conversation right now in that server on that stage that I'm going to take over. You see, I can hear it. You guys can't hear it. And it's really distracting. I can't really focus, you know, on talking to you right now. This is going on. But yeah, okay. So yeah, I've been doing some street activism. There's some new videos coming with that. You guys are going to love it, honestly. I'm not going to give too much away. The patrons already know what it is. So if you want to know what it is, go to patreon.com/David Rams, and you'll be able to see what's coming. So today, if you want to get involved with what I'm saying today, what people are saying, you want to help me respond, or you want me to say something you think I've missed and you really want me to say it, use the Streamlabs donation link. It's in the pinned comment. And you could, I'll pretty much say everything you want me to say as long as it's productive and clean, all right? So that's your chance to actually kind of be an armchair activist. Yeah, you can actually like control me a little bit if you do that. And you're supporting me also, so it's kind of a win-win, right? All right, I think I'm being invited in now. Let's have a look. Yeah. I can hear you. Yes, let's just bring everyone in. Hi, thanks so much for closing off the conversation, the people who were talking then, and I feel bad, but I'm sorry that you had to cut it off, but I hope there's no hard feelings.
Yeah, no, it's I think they're more happy too. And yeah, thank you for coming on again. I guess that this 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 stage will be interesting. I suppose that you'll change the title.
Yeah, we have to change the title, don't we? Let's do that now then. All right. Q&A. So, okay. What should it be? Like something like tell me
I think your YouTube title, pretty much your YouTube one, is pretty good.
you reckon? All right then. Fine. My YouTube one is asking the public for brutally honest opinions on vegans. You want to go with that?
I mean, yeah, I mean that's the theme you want to do, right? So, or
Okay,
like
okay.
either that, but wording it differently. I don't know if you want to word it differently, but
give me brutally honest opinions on vegans. Tell me your brutally honest opinions on vegans. Okay, let's go with that. Sweet. Well, that's the title we're going with.
Right.
Now, we can't complain when the whole load of shit comes flying in now. When we take so much abuse. But no, for people who are in here listening, this isn't an invitation to be abusive. This is an invitation to be brutally honest. Obviously, you can swear. That's fine. Not like not over the top. But and you know, if you wanna like use certain words, like I don't know, if you say, oh, I just think vegans are stupid, stuff like that, that's all right as well. But you know, keep it within reason. We can all say nasty things about each other. But yeah, feel free to be brutally honest and don't worry about offending me. That this is kind of what I want today. I want, if you're in here and you've got some really kind of strong opinion on vegans that you want to share, you know, whether it's positive or negative, I'm going to assume when I'm, you know, with the title being brutally honest, I guess most people are going to take that as negative. But yeah, don't be afraid of saying what you really mean, because this is how we get to the bottom of some things, and I can, you know, help maybe set the record straight on a few things and break some stereotypes and yeah, stuff like that. That's the aim of today. And I'm on YouTube, by the way, guys. I'm live on YouTube, so don't let that put you off. But that's what I do. I am a YouTuber. That's why that's what I'm doing today, as well as here. I'm also live on YouTube. So it's David Rams if you wanted to check that out.
All right, thank you.
Cool.
I'll see if I can get the ping to go out. But thank you, and yeah, have fun. See you later.
Cool, man. All right, so we've got the first person up. It's the name's T Big. I'm not sure how many of you guys were waiting for the last conversations to, you know, for something, a different topic or whatever, but let's just see how it goes. So we'll bring in T Big. Hello, you coming in, dude? Or dudette?
Yo, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks, man. I just have a bit of a sore throat, so
Don't worry
sorry
about
for that.
You got the COVID or?
So, yeah, sorry.
No, I'm just joking, man. I said I hope it's not
All
the
right.
yeah. Anyway, go ahead, man. So do you have a did you come for this conversation, or I guess were you waiting for the last one?
I was waiting for the last one, but I have no problem participating in this one.
Fair enough. Cool. And
so you're asking me for my brutally honest opinion on vegans, right?
Yeah,
I suppose that's the way.
exactly. Yeah, brutally honest. Well, I mean, you sound like a reasonable dude. Like you know the limits of brutally honest means. But yeah, go ahead, man. If you've got one, then shoot.
All right. So I suppose, as a personality type of a vegan, I would suppose it's a person that is empathetic, ethically oriented. And I would suppose you guys have a higher quality of life compared to other people for other reasons, not necessarily because of your diet, but more of because of your spirituality, if this makes any sense.
Yeah, like it's like a more kind of. I suppose it doesn't count for every vegan, but yeah, I get say the vast majority of vegans have like quite a caring worldview, right? They want to help animals and also people most of the time as well. Yeah.
So I suppose I don't know how to phrase this properly, but my problem with vegans, because personally I'm not a vegan. I was vegetarian for a while. And that worked out great. But anyways, the thing is that I see there is this kind of stigma, especially online, that vegans are essentially brainwashed to misinform people and blah blah blah. You get what I mean. You see what's going on.
Yeah.
TikTok and that vegan teacher, maybe those kinds of people that
Oh, I don't
kind
know.
of
I don't
pressure
know.
it
Sorry,
too
go ahead.
much in a false way.
I'll let you finish.
If you get what I mean.
Yeah,
Like, I have
it's
nothing
yeah.
against veganism personally. I just see like people that
Right. So
if you
you're
understand what I'm trying
yeah,
to
yeah,
say,
yeah. So your brutally honest opinion is that there is misinformation coming from vegans, and it's that would be like a bit of a stereotype that you've come across, right?
I
Or
suppose that the mainstream how somebody would define a vegan that you would ask on the street, where it would have a negative connotation
yeah,
because of what is going on in social media, and it's easy to just stigmatize a vegan um, based on everything that I see because
yeah,
the content is hilarious. Let's be real. Like if you go to YouTube and you type the person destroying vegan in a debate or something, because those vegans are either misinformed or they don't represent their views properly, and that is basically the laughing stock of many people, I
right.
suppose. And I hope many people can agree with me on this.
So
Um,
okay, so there's a few things. So to like kind of make sure I'm getting everything right. So first of all, like
yes, man.
you can one of the concerns was that okay, the vegans, the misinformation. Another one was that you feel like some of that misinformation or people who are just not very well educated are getting schooled in debates or getting made fun of or whatever on social media, and that can make it like vegans seem like a bit of a joke. Is that have I
Yeah.
got pretty much all of it there?
Yeah, it goes
Okay.
both ways, also for meat eaters, but I suppose that's more for vegans at this very
Yeah.
moment.
See, that's the beauty of social media, right? Is that like, depending on what you're interested in, it will serve that to you. So if it sounds to me like you've seen a video or two about of some meat eaters talking to some, let's say, not very well educated vegans, and then because YouTube or Facebook or wherever you will look TikTok, because they saw that you'd done that and you watched that, it will continue to serve that up to you again and again and again from different people. But then on the flip side, if you'd have found a video where a vegan was actually, roasting a meat eater and really dominating a debate, and that was the one you found, and you enjoyed it and you
Yeah.
watched it, you liked it, YouTube would, wherever, would serve that up to you. So this is the problem we've got with social media. We become really like polarized. The reality is yeah, like you said, I'd say there are like equal parts vegans schooling uneducated non-vegans and some non-vegans schooling uneducated vegans. You could find it, all of it, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, I suppose with what you said about the vegan teacher and misinformation, I don't know about specifically the vegan teacher and any misinformation she's put out. I mean, she tends to get shit just for being cringy, right? Not
That
necessarily that she's
that's what I
lying or
mean. Yeah, I
anything.
phrased it wrongly. I have nothing against her. I
Yeah.
don't watch her. Just like it's veganism is more seen as entertainment on the internet. That's what my point is.
Okay. Right. Yeah. People laughing at vegans and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it's not like what you're saying is completely untrue. Like there is a lot of, I mean, you can find like entertainment videos of many things that are quite serious on YouTube. Like for example, the BLM movement and feminism, the feminist movement, and there are lots of movements that are actually very serious in their nature. But you can find some people online making fun of them and making them look stupid, right? Because there are people within these groups who, unfortunately for the groups, they can act pretty dumb sometimes. And I'm not saying that the vegan teacher is, I would consider her to be acting dumb. I think actually, I've actually interviewed her and had quite a long conversation, and there's actually method to the madness with her. Believe it or not, everything she's doing it on purpose because she knows it brings attention. It's not like she's
I
like
understand that.
completely. It's not like she's just completely loony, just randomly posting. Like she thinks this stuff out. She plans things really well because she knows this is what will bring the most attention. So, but saying that, there definitely are vegans out there who are not doing it in a strategic way. They are doing it in a very, I don't know, let's say not ill thought out way and embarrassing themselves. But then there are people all over the world in many different places, many different groups doing the same thing. So yeah, I can't disagree with you. Yeah, it exists. There are people out there doing that.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, but it doesn't. I mean, saying that though, I mean, it doesn't take away from. It shouldn't take away from the severity of the issue. But I guess for a lot of people, it does, right? Because they get caught up. Social media these days makes people change their minds when it really shouldn't. If someone's being silly, that shouldn't make you condemn everybody else who's not being silly, who's fighting for a cause. Like if there's, for example, if there's one BLM activist who's saying really crazy, stupid shit, it doesn't mean that the entire BLM movement is fake and wrong and stupid, right? And that goes for vegans too. Like if you see one vegan or a couple of vegans where you're like, what the fuck, they're crazy, that doesn't mean that the cause they're fighting for is invalid, right? It doesn't mean it's all of a sudden it's not important or it's not real. You know what I mean?
agree with you, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And what for you then? So what you said you were vegetarian, and then you've
I was vegetarian for a while due to health reasons. I was consuming too much meat actually, so I was like, I'm gonna cut it off for a while to see how it goes.
right.
It worked out for me temporarily, but then I just jumped back to meat for personal reasons. I'm not a vegan. I don't follow that philosophy for a variety of reasons.
Which philosophy is that exactly that you don't follow?
Well, okay. I mean the vegan philosophy in general. Can we try to talk about what is a vegan in terms of a definition? So
yeah, that's what I was.
some
that's what I
people
was
here
looking
can also
for.
understand that.
That's what I was looking for from you. Like which like you say vegan philosophy, that's fine. But like what philosophy do you not follow? Like, or what elements of what you believe to be a vegan philosophy that you don't agree with? Yeah.
All right. So what I see veganism as, I don't know if this is the proper definition. I'm not a dictionary, and I'm
Sure.
not it's really research. I haven't done lots of research on this, but I
Sure.
would classify this as a way of living that you try to exclude any kind of cruelty and abuse from animals, right? So you don't abuse animals or try to manipulate them, if this makes any sense, to get their products, get their meat. So that's what vegans are fighting for, essentially animals living on their own with no interference, if this makes any sense.
Yeah, it's more. I
And,
guess kind of. I guess there's a missing point though. Why, right? Because it is that okay. What you've described is the practical element of what a vegan does, but what we've missed is the why they're doing that. And I think that is more important than what they do. The reason why I say I'm a vegan. The reason why we do that is because of what the animals go through, right? It's what happens to them if we don't do that. It's what becomes of their lives, what their lives mean. In most cases, it means they'll go through horrific like torture, pain, violence. In other cases, maybe that doesn't happen, but they're still treated. Well. Look, there's a word, I don't know if I'm allowed to use it, but the opposite of freedom, we know what that word is, because they're not free, right? So that's what they become. They become that to us, even if they're not being abused. That's what they become to us because they become products, commodities. So this is the alternative of veganism. This is kind of what happens if you don't. That's the why vegans do those actions. You were right though; those actions were correct, but the why is also really important. Yeah, so I guess we're on the same page, with that.
I'm glad.
Yeah. So what do you disagree with about that?
So first I wanted to make some type of distinction. I just wanted to ask you if would it be classified as vegan if somebody did not abuse an animal but used spare products that would be produced of that animal, for example, if you get what I mean. So for example, you have a sheep and you care for that sheep, you feed that, you have shelter for it, you trim it, and you take the wool and you make it into a product. Would that be classified as a product that you would be able to use because it was cruelty-free? Would that be a vegan thing?
In your example, is it something that's necessary, or is it something that's for convenience or pleasure?
In whatever way that you take something from an animal and you use it, for example,
no, I understand.
Cow
I'm
manure,
just looking
for example, and you use it on your farm.
I'm just
That
looking for
manure
the
would not
reason,
be
though.
used otherwise.
Yeah, what's the reason you'd be doing it though? Are you doing it because it's something we have to do? Like you have to, like you literally, you don't do it, then something you can't survive, or are you doing it because it's like, oh,
Well, I
just want
suppose
that?
you can make a living out of it. For example, if you care for sheep and you give them a great living, you use the wool that would otherwise suffocate them as well. They would die out of heat, and you sell that wool. You make that wool into whatever you want, and you sell it. Or for example, you have bees, you have beehives, and you take the spare honey that they would not use in winter because bees store more honey than they would use, for example, and you sell that to make yourself a living.
Yeah. There's a few elements. The reason I ask these questions, I mean, we're going into like hypotheticals, which I'll go into it with you for a little bit, but then I'd rather kind of focus in on the reality, right?
Sure, man.
But yeah, with these hypotheticals, so at the end of the day, the sheep are only in the position where they have too much wool because of what we did to them, right? They don't just exist in the wild. They don't just walk into the towns and villages like, oh, it's time for my time for my shearing. You know, they don't just come in from the wild and you know. So the reason they exist like this is because we have genetically modified them over many years, selective breeding, and now they become these animals
exactly,
that are,
bro.
you know, they're like man-made monsters, and I don't think they're monsters, but that's just the best way to describe them. And you know, they're awesome sheep, I love them, but they are man-made.
Well, that's the reality now,
monsters.
anyways. Like, if you get what I mean, right?
Yeah, but that's the problem, right? That is an issue. So the solution to that issue isn't to continue breeding them. They are animals that are completely dependent on humans, and they'll suffer. So to create an industry off the back of a problem we've created is just madness. To take them and say, well, you know, it's like act like we're doing them a favor when it's our fault that they are now in this position where they completely depend on us and can't live independently. What we have to do, in my opinion, and what I guess most vegans would agree, is you'd have to become a caretaker for them, not use them as a business model. Using them as a business model, you're treating them like a commodity. You create products out of them. That's no way to treat, you know, to treat a someone. They you know, they are individuals, the personalities, and I know that sounds crazy to hear talking about sheep, but unless you've spent time with sheep, you really don't know, mate. They're really individual. They have personalities. They act like dogs. They wag their tails, you know, and we wouldn't create an industry off the back of dogs for those reasons. We look at dogs and we acknowledge they're individuals, and well, sheep are the same. Well, most animals are the same. So yeah, vegan wouldn't, whether it's like vegan or not is kind of irrelevant. Whether it's right or not, moral or not, that's the important question. And I'd say no. I wouldn't support that. And most vegans are going to say no as well for those reasons.
So I agree and disagree on you in this point, but I just want to try to drag it somewhere else, and that I think we would have found common ground. When something is excluding genetic modification and selective breeding, for example, let's talk about chickens, right? Chickens lay eggs, and those eggs, no shit. Well, yeah. And those eggs can only produce chickens if they're fertilized. So that means chickens having, you know, doo-doo with a rooster before laying the egg. Otherwise, the egg is unfertilized and will essentially rot. It will not produce anything.
Yeah.
So if you take care of your chickens, we're not talking about genetically modified chickens. We're talking about normal chickens.
Hold up, just kind of pause you there, because normal chickens would be in the wild then. Any other chicken that's not in the wild has been genetically modified.
I disagree. That's not always the case. Well, sure, their selective breeding has played.
Dude, the chickens in the wild lay 12 to 14 eggs a year. That's not my opinion. That's fact. Chickens that we have genetically modified and selectively bred lay upwards of 50 a year. So if your chickens lay,
give me 1 second, by the way.
Yeah,
excuse me.
Go ahead.
Second.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So I was just saying, yeah, chickens that people would consider to be like normal chickens, they're laying 50 eggs minimum a year, some of them up to 300. Wild chickens don't do that. They have a cycle that's similar to a human. They have 12 eggs, like almost like a human female has 12 eggs, right? It's that's what chickens are supposed to be like, but they're not. And if they're not, then they have been modified. So unless you're talking about going into the wild and picking up a wild chicken, which I would not recommend to do, because again, that would be an issue in itself, going out and taking an animal and domesticating them for your own benefit, if it's not necessary, which again, that's what I mentioned earlier. When we're talking about necessity for survival, it becomes a totally different conversation. But if it's not, if it's just for pleasure or to try and make some money, then no, yeah. But I think let me follow. I'll track with you for a second though. I guess the example you were going to give was that, yeah, if you have chickens in the garden, let's imagine you rescued chickens, right? Let's go with that. You rescued them from a factory farm, and now they're in the garden, and you're looking after them, and you're not gonna kill them. You're not gonna sell any eggs, but you want to eat those eggs. If that's the example you were going to go for, first of all, because they're laying so many eggs, they lose a lot of calcium, right? And they're not supposed to lay so many eggs. That their bodies haven't evolved to keep up with how many eggs they're laying, if that makes sense. Their bodies are still built for 12 eggs a year. They're not built for 100 or 200 or whatever. So
Well, that depends on the diet that you provide for them. as
exactly,
well.
but then
You can actually supplement it with iron.
exactly,
and,
you can
calcium
you can
that they're
supplement
lacking.
their diet with the eggs that they're laying. This is the point. You can crunch up those eggs and they'll get the calcium and loads of nutrients back in their own diet. So there's no need to give them any other supplements. Then well, maybe there is, but you can feed their eggs back to them, right? There's no need for if there's no need for us to be eating them. If it's for pleasure, then give it to them because they need it more than you, right? They need it more than we do. So although in that scenario, I mean, this scenario with the chickens and the eggs in the backyard eggs or whatever, I mean, these are not the big issues that we have to face right now. These are issues that would come a lot later down the line. These are not. I can talk about this and I can argue these points, but ultimately these are not the biggest issues we have. The biggest issues we have is the egg industry, not someone who's rescued some chickens in the garden, right? I mean, they're out of the egg industry. That they're going to be significantly better state than the ones that are in factory farms, or in any kind of industrial farming. So good. So to kind of circle back, we didn't get to the bottom of exactly which elements that you disagree with on. Maybe I didn't let you, but the
right,
elements
don't worry
you
about it,
disagree
don't
with
worry about
the philosophy. So what exactly was it? In what we discussed, what vegans do and why they do it. Which bit of that do you disagree with?
Well, here's the thing. I appreciate you guys. Generally, your philosophy lines up with something ethical, but at the same time, I just do not believe that would be sustainable and attainable anytime soon, and it would make a slight dent with our current technology. We're not able to really supplement the entire world to make them follow a complete vegan diet. That would be completely unsustainable, in my opinion. And from what statistics I've seen, it's just not going to happen. That's what I see, man.
But that's not.
I don't know.
But that's not against the philosophy. Like the philosophy of veganism isn't like not. That's not what we defined it as earlier. I'm wondering like what you have against, or if anything, the part about what the way a vegan lives and why they do it. Like, do you have anything against that specifically? We can talk about the rest of the world in a minute. I'm just wondering the philosophy itself.
I don't think anybody has anything against vegans. It's just that they don't personally want to follow that lifestyle of not consuming meat or any products that are made from animals. That's
exactly.
That's what I see.
So what do you have exactly? So which element of the philosophy do you disagree with then? Because it's not. I mean, if you say, well, I just don't want to do it. Well, there's got to be a reason you don't want to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what is that?
Well, that's a really complex question because I don't think I've ever really thought of this in that much detail. But let's see. First off, I don't think that I'm going to properly receive the nutrients and vitamins from a vegan diet fully as I would from meat and dairy products and any kind of meat product. I would have significant deficiencies that I would need to supplement in some sort of pills, tablets, or a really strict diet that I would need to probably pay more for, do more research for, know how to cook more food that I had no idea that it really existed. I have to make sure that I don't have any allergy in byproducts that would replace milk, for example, like soy and almonds, which are in the big 8 allergens. And I'm personally allergic to almonds, so there's that. So I would need to find a way to completely change my lifestyle in what I eat and balance out generally everything. I have to change my entire lifestyle, which would be depriving me of time and resources and probably money. And I wouldn't know if it would still keep me at the same health or worse health or better health. Depends, because again, I don't believe that a vegan diet is naturally sustainable in the terms of getting it from nature and just feeding like that. And one small comment, like there are 7, 8, 9. I don't believe. I don't remember how many nutrients you're not able to get from nature exactly, but I know vitamin B12 is a commonly talked about. It's not only that. There is omega-3 fatty acids. There is I can line
don't-
up a few.
Yeah, you don't need to
Right,
stow away.
but-
Yeah. So I guess what you're saying is if it were possible for you to get a full nutritional profile and be healthy, either as healthy as you are now or healthier potentially, without funding violence and slaughterhouses and dairy farmers shoving their arms inside cows, which I don't know if you know about that. It's artificial insemination. That's like a standard practice in the dairy industry. They like shove their entire arm inside a cow's anus and inject semen into her to get her pregnant so she produces milk. And without funding the slaughter of those baby cows, without funding the slaughter of like baby chickens, if you could live a way that didn't fund any of that and be as healthy as you are now, you would do that? Is that what you're saying?
I would. I think everybody would, as long as it had the same nutritional and flavor profile. So as
Okay,
long as that's...
So we've added a caveat there, haven't we? It was nutrition and now it's flavor as well.
Okay, sure. Flavor is now achievable with even natural products that you would be able to produce. Okay, that would take more time, but regardless of flavor, forget about flavor. If it's following, personally for me, if it's following a nutritional profile that lines up with what I would get from meat and any other product that is from animals, yes, I would. Personally, I would. Yes, 100%.
Well, it's good news because
and also the same price.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good news because, man, like I've got good news for you, yeah, because it is possible. You can do it, and it's not as inconvenient or stressful as you might think. I mean, obviously, it's stressful at the beginning, just like it is stressful to start a new job or move to a new house or a new school or whatever. Any change in your life that causes you to have new habits, it's stressful. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not nice. It feels uncomfortable. But just like all those other things, after like 2 weeks, maybe 3 maximum, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what I'm doing now. Like it's not a big deal anymore. You know what I mean? Like when you start a new job or whatever, you get used to it. You know, you meet the people, you get used to the routes to and from work and stuff like that. It's the same thing. So that element of it, that kind of changed of the habit, it takes care of itself. The nutritional side of things. I mean, I'm a YouTuber. You know, I do vegan YouTube, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm a nutritionist. I'm not. But fortunately, there are nutritionists and dietitians who will help you and give you all that information for free, and that I can literally send you the link to that right now, and you can sign up to it. It's like a completely free thing called Challenge 22, and they have registered dietitians who give their time because they are vegans and they want to help people like you go vegan, because you care about animals and you don't want to. If you can live without funding all of that violence, then they want to help. You want to live without funding the violence. They want to help people like you do that. So that's challenge22.com. Without getting too much into the nitty gritty of the nutrition side of things, I can just confirm to you that whether it be supplementation is not evil. First of all, right? B12 supplements, and potentially, depending on what you're going to be eating, potentially D supplements are the only two you're probably going to need. There's a lot of food these days is fortified. Even breakfast cereal's fortified. So it's not like you're completely missing out. But these vitamins are not even so prevalent in animal products anymore. This is why their animals are often supplemented with B12, for example. They put it in their animal feed. If you want proof of that, just Google it. Just Google livestock B12, and you'll see loads of products that they feed.
Well, yeah, it's more than B12 though. We have to talk about creatine, for example, carnosine. We can talk about D3 DHA.
I'm talking about essential.
Taurine,
we're talking essential nutrients, man. Those aren't the few of the ones you mentioned though. They're not essential nutrients. And this is what I mean. I don't want to get it too far into this nitty gritty, because look, for every carnivore doctor, there is for every 10 carnivore doctors, there's 10 plant-based doctors, right? And they've all got their papers and they've all got their evidence. At the end of the day, man, right? You can get into all of that, and we can compare papers and studies all day, and we're not gonna get to the bottom of it really, because I assume you're not like a biologist or dietitian. I'm not either. But the reality is, like, there are people thriving on plant-based diets. There are people at the top level athleticism on plant-based diets. Literally just yesterday, I'm in Athens, by the way, Athens, Greece. I just went to see.
I'm in Athens, Greece as well, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, you really?
Yeah, I am, of
For real?
course.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
that's
I'm a
awesome,
Greek
man.
boy.
Yeah, there's a vegan festival this weekend. You should come. Come meet up, man.
Really?
Yeah. Come
Where
meet
is
up.
that?
We'll hang out. It's gonna be at 1 minute. I'll just find out now. Yeah, you should totally come, man. And they're gonna be like,
I'm not even kidding. I'm more than down to do so if you
yeah. Let
friend
me just get
request as
it.
well,
Let me just
if
tell you
that's
where it
cool.
is, and I can tell you what it's called. It's called Vegan Life Festival, and
Really?
it's like a big festival. They're going to be like doing loads of different foods and stuff, and they've got like doctors and nutritionists giving talks and things. Like it's a proper thing. It's going to be at God, where is the? Why can't I see the location? Hold up, I'm just getting it on Instagram now, but it's all in Greek, so it's hard for
Alright.
me to see which bit is the address.
Just send me the website. I can directly.
It's
translate for you.
Technopolis, City of Athens. That's where it's happening. Technopolis.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's Saturday, Sunday, 11 till 11, free entry. I think the only thing you consider is that they'll make you do a rapid test if you don't have the vaccine. That's it.
Oh shit, dude. Oh,
Yeah,
that's,
I
that's a
mean, I
pain.
know I'm pissed off
I'm
about
not
that too, man.
vaccinated yet. Shit.
No. It's annoying. Yeah, but the rapid test is like 10 euros, so it's not the end of the world. But
It's okay, man. Just the queue is very long from what I know. Just
oh yeah, well maybe we can
Not
meet
many
up and do
people
that together, mate. Because I need to go I need to go get it as well.
Jesus, man.
Oh, it's so annoying. But anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
I went down to the beach yesterday and to see this calisthenics competition, and it's like the national calisthenics competition. Like these are like the top of the top, and the guy who won the strength competition. And bear in mind, like this is no easy feat. Like calisthenics, on the bars and shit. Like this stuff is insane.
Do calisthenics, yeah.
Yeah.
At
so
least I used to. Now I have anorexia. I'm pretty screwed up, but
okay, fair enough. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. Sorry to hear that, by the way. But yeah, the
It's
guy,
alright.
the guy's name is Alexander. What's his fucking surname? 1 second. Check this guy out on Instagram if you can. Alexander Fortinos. Okay, and he just
Yeah.
won yesterday. He's been vegan 7 years. He is the 7 times national
man.
champion, calisthenics champion here in Greece. So he's whooping the asses of people who are eating. You know what people are like in sports, man. They eat so much like chicken and eggs and shit like that. He's eating
Protein-dense
none of
foods
that.
generally, yeah, of course.
Yes, he's eating none of that, and he's munching them, man. He's smashing them 7 times in a row. So I mean, and the dude is an absolute beast, by the way. If anyone's listening, you want to check this guy out, Alexander Fotinos. That's Fotinos. And so yeah, it was awesome. So I mean, there are people out there like him, top athletes who are doing it just on lentils, man. Literally, just smashing the lentils. So it's
Hey,
totally
let's go.
possible. It's totally possible. And with that link that I mentioned, the challenge22.com, dude, you can get that information that he's clearly had, and you can make sure that you're as healthy, if not healthier, than you are now without funding everything we just spoke about. So it's totally possible.
Well, fair enough, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool that you're here, man. We can definitely it'd be cool if you come to the festival and you can come see what it actually is like to eat like this, right? And you'll live like this, and you can actually you're quite lucky this is happening this weekend. You can just dive straight in and be like, right, what's going on? What's it like? What are these people like? You can see that. You can also smash some of those stereotypes we were talking about earlier, because I can promise you most people at this festival are just going to be chill, average people who happen to be vegan. Not the social media vegans like me. Just like
Yeah, man.
your average vegan.
Come on. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
so-
right.
So, dude, yeah, you can. So, get me on Instagram. It's David Rams, as you can see here, and just drop me a message, and we'll keep in touch. And
All right, fair enough.
I'll also send you the Challenge 22 link. It's just challenge22.com, but yeah, I can send it you on Instagram as well.
I'll reach out. Okay. Well, that was a really nice, productive discussion. Well, I really appreciate this, man.
Yeah, man. Good to meet you. What's your name, by the way? Like, if you don't want to say
My
it,
name
it's
is
okay.
George, man.
George. Okay.
No,
cool.
I have no problem with it.
Awesome, man. Nice to meet you. And hopefully
I'll
see you
see
this
you around.
weekend.
Thanks so much, man.
Cool, man.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
See you around, man.
See you later.
Take it easy. Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Cool. All right then. Some honest opinions there, but pretty damn reasonable. What a nice start. But I don't believe it's gonna stay like this. I reckon there's some trolls in there just waiting to get on here. But that was a really nice start, really good start, right? Nice guy. I hope he comes down for the a festival this weekend. I think it's a great opportunity for people to really experience what it's like. You know, what are vegans like? What's the food like? What's going on? Why are people doing this? I think this is like a great opportunity, and it's free. So I mean, you know, what's 10 euros? You got to go get the bloody test. But if you don't have the, and I realized I said the V word. I don't know if this stream's going to get fucked now because of that. The scene, the big V. But yeah, it is what it is. I've said it now, so I won't say it again. Someone's asking me why not. I'm not going to answer that. I'll tell you what, Carson, who asked about the V, about me having it or not. It's a topic. You'll look through my channel, you'll see that I have avoided it on purpose. Not getting into it, guys. I am so sick of the polarization on this shit. People fucking ripping each other's head off. Oh my God. So I'm not prepared to get into that. There's more important things to talk about. This is going to piss so many people off, isn't it? All right. Who've we got next? Let's have a look. We've got Artikino is going to come in and going to tell us their brutally honest opinions on vegans. Hello. Are you there? It looks like you're... Are you there now? Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing good. Good.
Cool. So do you have a brutally honest opinion for me? Reasonably
About what?
brutal on veganism?
Being vegan.
Yeah,
You're vegan, right?
exactly.
Why do you care about animals?
Do you also care about animals or not?
If you say I don't think the way how they kill the animals is not a good way. They need to kill the animals in like a painless way, but I don't mind eating them. But I mind if you like shoot a deer for fun or something, or kill a rhino for the horns, and then do nothing with it.
That's interesting, man. So what do you think? What is the reason that you would eat an animal? Like, what's the main reason for that?
It's meat.
But why would you eat the meat? Like, what's the reason that you want to eat that meat?
Because it's good.
Like,
If you eat
tastes good or
meat, yes.
okay. So and you could get the same nutrition, right? You could get the same, you know, food, nutritional things from like a plant instead. You could eat something else, right? You could eat like a bean burger or something. So you acknowledge that, right? You could get it. You could get that from somewhere else, right?
But that's not the same.
No, it's not the
If
same
you
taste,
like-
right? Not the same taste, but you can still get the nutrition somewhere else, you know?
But it's not just the taste. It's like how it feels when you eat. You get like like the juice or something. That's
Yeah, I get it, right?
perfect. Like
I get it. It's exciting. It's like feels good. It's pleasurable, right?
yes.
Exactly. So tell me this, right? Why do you think someone shoots a rhino?
Because of money and like his horns.
I mean,
Just
okay,
a lot of
let's
money.
talk about someone in an American. Why does an American go over to Africa to shoot rhinos?
For the fun.
For fun, right? So that's
Yes.
that's the same reason you just gave for eating the meat. So how are you different from the rhino poacher?
I eat it.
Right, but you do it for pleasure. The rhino killer also does it for pleasure. Both the animals are dying
Yes.
for pleasure. It doesn't matter if they're being eaten or not, right?
Yes, some people kill other people for pleasure. Yes.
Exactly.
It's the same.
So if they ate them, would that make it okay?
No.
So you get my point, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So
But
I agree with you, by the way. I think it's great that you think the rhino killer or the people killing animals for fun is bad. I agree with you. That's awesome. But the point I'm making is eating them is also for fun. It's also for just a good pleasure, a good time. So, I agree with you. Those people who hunt and kill for fun are bad. But then you'd also have to say that those people who are eating the animals for fun are equally as bad as the ones who kill them for fun, because either way, the animal dies for a human to have fun.
okay, let's say you're a vegan, you have like a chicken farm just for the fun, like you have a chicken farm. And
Okay.
what are you gonna do with the chicken?
What do you mean?
The chicken's like you have in chicken farm,
Yeah.
you're vegan, so you don't eat the eggs. So
Okay.
the chicken lays eggs, they get like new baby chickens, and they do that
Okay.
for years. And then, why do you have a chicken then? You can eat the chicken and feed someone, then
Yeah.
let the chicken do nothing.
Okay. So you're talking about eggs now, right? Or are you talking about? Are you talking about?
I just mean the chicken gives something in return. They don't do anything if they just in your backyard. They're just standing there eating the things you give to them.
Okay.
But if you
But
eat
what?
them, they provide something to eat
What? Okay. Why did they need to provide us something though?
because we provide food to them.
Okay, but you also provide food to your children. You don't expect them to work for you, do you? I mean, if you had a kid, would you expect them to, I don't know, do jobs for you, or would you just look after them because they're weak and they need to be looked after?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like the thing is, chickens
Yeah.
are like they're completely helpless. They're completely defenseless animals, the same as cows. I mean, no, cows are quite strong, but we are so much smarter. Pigs are also strong, but we are so much smarter. So all of these animals, they are under our dominion. We are the superior species, right? We are the smarter species. We can dominate them easily. But I would say that's an argument for us to actually not dominate them. You know what I mean? Because that's just bullying. Just because we're stronger doesn't mean that we get to bully every other animal. Should we not use our strength just to like help them or leave them alone or even protect them? You know, protect them against people who want to hurt them because we can, because we're strong and we can help them instead of killing them. You know what I mean? Like what's wrong with that? Did he just leave? Oh.
Yeah, they apparently they're just gone.
I mean, I've never had someone bail out on me, but I don't know. I guess maybe maybe I blew his mind, or maybe it was just
Might
a
have been
connection
there.
issue. What was that?
I just wanted to, yeah, I just want to make a quick comment if you don't mind,
Yeah.
really quick. Yeah, I see a bunch of people in the queue that haven't gotten verified, haven't got a role. So we're just gonna skip to people that have roles. So get your vegan or non-vegan role. There's a bunch of people on the top that aren't like verified, so you're not gonna get picked. Thank you.
Yeah, that's yeah, I'm doing that. I'm picking the verified people because of the rules. Dantas put the rules on me. I've got to play by the rules or he'll kick me out and never let me do a stay. What? No, they're not that bad. No, it's not like that. It's not that strict. It ain't like that, right, Julian? All right, let's bring someone else in then. It's kind of a shame. That seemed like it could have been a good conversation. He had empathy. I think when someone starts with empathy, saying I think it's wrong to do this to animals, it's always a good start, to be honest. And it's kind of nice to talk to people in a nice environment like this as well. Even though we're asking for controversial opinions or you know real brutal, honest opinions. It's kind of nice because I've been doing those street interviews, as I said, and those street interviews I've been doing have been pretty hardcore, guys. You're going to love the videos we've done, but it's so much harder. It's so much harder because of, you'll see. I don't want to give too much away. Join the Patreon team and you'll find out what's coming. It's the only way you can get the exclusive, the jump on the rest of everyone else. I want to keep it secret until then. I'm going to bring on Temptation. Temptation's joining. Hi.
Hello?
What's up?
What's up, David Rams?
So do you have
So you're asking for like
brutally honest?
an
Yeah, I'm giving
opinion?
you the chance. I'm giving people the chance to like be quite brutally honest within reason. Obviously, like it's safe. It's a safe for work Discord server. So I mean, don't go too crazy. But yeah, you can be honest about it, on your opinions about vegans.
No, yeah, it's just cool because I follow you on like YouTube and stuff. But besides that,
Cool. Thanks, man.
I hope this doesn't come off as mean or just
Oh, I hope it
whatever.
does.
But I think
Don't
some
worry,
vegans-
man. We're ready for it. Let's go.
I just feel like some vegans are annoying or just nerve-wracking, kind of. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, man, trust me. I know exactly what you mean. I mean, this is people get. I don't know. I don't care if guys. I'm sorry if I pissed you off saying this. It is what it is, right? Vegans, but dude,
Right.
there are many annoying vegans. I don't know. There are many annoying people in the world. All right, but yeah, I spend most of my time
Mhm.
around vegans. Obviously, is it's what I do. It's who I'm talking to and working with. I've been working within
That's cool.
vegan communities and for years now. And yeah, there are annoying vegans. There are annoying people in all walks of life. And yeah, there are definitely annoying vegans. But when you say it, I guess our versions of annoying are going to be different. You know. So what is it that annoys you?
Right.
And then I can tell you maybe what annoys me.
Um, I wouldn't. Okay, so I wouldn't say some of the activism. Obviously, I'm not vegan, and I don't do activism, so I can't criticize.
All right.
I've experienced some things in public, and I have seen some things, and it's just awful. I guess I don't know. It's just like um, how would I explain? I mean, as I said, annoying and nerve-wracking. Um,
Intense, maybe. I guess they make you feel
yeah,
nervous. Is that what you mean?
maybe. Yeah,
Like uncomfortable.
yeah,
Yeah.
like just uncomfortable, just weird. Uh, yeah, it's just, oh man.
And is that because of
And
what?
like I'm being as honest as I can.
Yeah, it's
Like
okay.
I'm
Is
trying
that
to.
because of what they're saying? They've said to you, like what they've said made you feel uncomfortable, or is it something else?
Some of the things they show, like I've walked into stores and I've seen like people holding like a TV or like these screens and like these signs, like uh saying all this weird stuff that I don't think I want to say because again, I'm trying to keep as you said, try to keep it I guess safe for work.
Yeah.
'Cause I guess some of it has been something you wouldn't want to see in your daily life.
Okay.
Um yeah, like yeah, I mean, I guess the things that they have shown that would just be like animals being like killed and all that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that makes you uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
Do you think? Here's a question. Do you think it makes them comfortable to show it, or do you think they're also uncomfortable seeing and showing that, like just like you?
Oh, that's a hard question.
I mean,
I
they're not enjoying themselves. That's that. We can agree on that, right? It's not. They don't look like they're having
right,
fun in these moments, right?
right.
So then, do you think maybe? I mean, then ask why would they put themselves through it? Like, think about this. Vegans have made the decision to like not pay for animals to go through any of those things. Vegans have made the decision to say, I'm not going to pay for that anymore. I want to help people also stop paying for that. I want to convince people to not pay for it. Why would they take it upon themselves then to expose themselves to something that really, really hurts them and makes them feel uncomfortable?
Um, I don't know how to explain. So I guess like vegans as uh, okay, that is a hard question.
Yeah.
Me.
I mean,
Because I guess it's just like it's their form of activism, right? Like vegans, they don't want other people to harm animals, and they want better for the world, which is a good thing, right? They want all this to stop, and they don't like they don't want humans to go through it, and they don't want animals to go through it. It's like
yeah.
no, I guess I'm trying to explain because
I-
I don't know much about it or about the thing, whatever. I don't know,
I
but
mean, let's maybe ask
yes,
what exactly. Okay, let's move on from that and ask what exactly is it about it that bothers you? Like exactly. So you see it, you feel uncomfortable, you feel nervous, and obviously they do as well. What exactly do you think is pushing us to feel that way when we see those images, or when you see those images, those videos, you hear what's going on the speakers, I guess. What do you think it is that is making you feel that way, that uncomfortable, that nervous feeling?
I guess this may not answer your question, but I'll try the best
All right.
because it's like because I see it right, and like I know it's happening because
Mhm.
I'm buying that product, right?
Yeah.
It's like I try to deny that I'm the one that's not causing it. I have like try to say like I'm not causing this. I don't want to believe I'm the problem.
Yeah.
That I need to be the solution. Because don't get me wrong, I before have made conclusion of like I want to be vegan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to fit it in, right?
Yeah.
I'd say it makes me uncomfortable because I don't want to believe I'm causing it, and I don't want to believe that I'm one causing the harm for buying these products.
Okay. So then, do you think that's the vegan's fault or yours?
My fault, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's not a blame game, but I mean, it's definitely important to like have that self-reflection of maybe in this case, it's not the vegans that are annoying you. It's that you that's being annoyed by the reality you're trying to ignore,
Right.
which is
I
you
see where you're going with that.
So, what do you think you could do to fix that then, so that the next time you see a protest like this, you still obviously you're not going to like it. Don't get me wrong. No one's ever going to like seeing those images. But what do you think you can do to make it so that it doesn't bother you as much?
I wouldn't say just to ignore it, but probably just put up with it and go vegan, I guess. I wouldn't really.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
I mean, look. I mean, we're talking about veganism, but ultimately, if there's anything that you see that makes you feel guilty about what you're doing, and you're contributing to it, and you don't want to feel bad for contributing to that anymore, you don't want to feel bad every time you see this and feel guilty, well then yeah, part of it is becoming part of the solution, like you said, and stop funding it. And then another part of it is that of course it bothers you, so then speak about it, and maybe even become one of those people that you said were annoying, because then you
Right.
understand why they're doing it. Like, they're not trying to just annoy people for the sake of it. And we you know, I've done these things, by the way. I've actually done what you're saying. I've been in a supermarket, I've been in a McDonald's and a Burger King multiple times doing this exact thing that you're saying. I'm not doing it because I like annoying people. I'm not doing it because it's like, it's horrible, mate. Your heart is racing, adrenaline's flowing through your veins. You feel like everyone's staring at you. If it's horrible. It is not fun in any way. And you're showing these horrible images, dude. It is the worst thing, the worst way to spend your Saturday or Sunday night. Trust me, it's not fun. But we're not doing it because it's fun. We're doing it because people. It's ignorance is bliss, like you just said. And look at where you are now, and look at what you're saying. This is why we're doing it, because you've had this realization now after seeing all of this. You're saying, you know what, like maybe I should go vegan and stop being part of it. That is exactly why people like me and these people who do it way more often than me, that's why they're doing it. Because then people
Right.
like you will see it and say, fuck yeah, like this pisses me off, and I've realized now that I'm going to do something about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's definitely not the best thing to do, and I see why vegans do it, right? Like I get
Oh, it sucks,
why
man.
they do it.
It sucks, man. There's no two ways
Yeah.
about it. It's not nice. It is annoying for the people in the McDonald's. It is annoying for the vegans. It's no one's having a good time with these events. No one is having a pleasure, a convenient, nice, comfortable time. But it's not for that. It's not supposed to be comfortable. It's not supposed to be nice. So you saying it's annoying, I agree with you, and that is the way it's supposed to be. Do you know this actually? These forms of activism, they came from the civil rights movement in the U.S. That they inspired the modern vegans who are doing this, because they did similar events. The civil rights activists, they did the same thing. You're American, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm from America.
So you probably learned this in school as well. You know, they did the sit-ins. They did those protests where the civil rights activists went into places where they were white-only places, and they went inside and protested inside the places. And it caused the similar reaction. People were annoyed, but it's not like they enjoyed it. It was horrible and difficult, and they got attacked and physically attacked. It was horrible. Vegans also get physically attacked. Not anywhere near at the same level that those activists were, but still, vegans get physically attacked, verbally attacked. It's unpleasant for everyone involved, but it needs to be done, doesn't it? Otherwise, everything just keeps on going, business as usual, and nothing ever changes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. And yeah, it's not the best thing to go through. And yeah, vegans or anybody protesting, doing this form of activism shouldn't even be treated that way. But yeah, I mean, no one wants to. Yeah. Yeah. As you said, like no one wants to see that. No one wants to. Like everyone just wants to go on their daily life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I say that. But yeah, like vegans are definitely doing the the best thing, I guess. Probably not the best, but a good thing. And like I do respect it, though I do get annoyed, I guess.
Mm.
Probably a contradiction, but I guess you see, I guess what I'm trying to get at is that like I kind of dislike it, but then it's like I try to respect it as best as I can. Yes.
Yeah, I get it. I see this. I see some of these things too, man. I am someone who does it, and then sometimes I see it, and I'm like, oof, that's pretty hardcore. So even if it bothers me, even though I understand it, I can understand how it bothers you, even though you're not even involved in it. You know what I mean? Like I've been involved in it, and it still bothers me. So I totally get it. But that's the purpose of it. What exactly? You seem like you talk like a vegan. You sound like someone who already is on the side of the animals. Actually, you sound like you're an animal defender. So, but there were just a few things you said. So, like, what actually is stopping you from stopping paying for all of the things that you've seen on those screens and from these vegans?
Oh, I guess myself. Cause I want to make the decision. I'm stopping myself because it's like, because I'm just scared of what other people are gonna think of me, of like, going vegan and stuff, especially with like family members.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Do you think they would be like what you're worried that they would be like? Like what exactly? Like dismissive or rude or?
Yeah, probably just like, uh, probably like that, just like mistreat me or like, just yeah, just not like. Yeah, just like disrespectful and stuff like that, as you said, and like I'm just scared of what other people are gonna think.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, I think a lot of vegans have been through that. A lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of things, not just veganism, where people go through these things. Things they want to change about themselves, and then they're worried about how people are going to take it. But I mean, I think what's important, and I know this is, I know how difficult this message is going to sound, and it may not help you, but I'll say it anyway. There are some things that are so important that we should just take the hit and take the risk and go ahead and go forward anyway. And I think I don't believe there's any other decision in most people's lives that is as important as this one. And I say that because how many decisions do you make on a daily basis that result in life or death? Not many, right? Unless you're a doctor, okay, or a veterinarian, or someone that works with literal, living beings dying or living. But with choosing what you buy at the supermarket, you become that. You actually are deciding who lives and who dies. There's no other decision that most people have that has that impact. So yeah, I agree with you. I know how it can be. I know there's the fear of how it's going to be taken and everything, but there's only one way to find out, and it's worth taking that risk. It's worth going down that path because, like I said, it's life and death. If you don't do it, the result is death. If you do it, well, you're causing significantly less death and significantly less harm, and you can still eat and live in a healthy, happy way. So it really is an important decision and well worth the potential shit you'll get for it, to be honest. And I know I've had the shit, man. I grew up vegetarian, by the way. I was born vegetarian. I've had shit my entire life. So, mainly from like school, friends and other kids and man, my entire life. So I feel you, but I wouldn't change it, man. It's worth it to do the right thing. It's worth it.
Yeah, and yeah, as I said, I would want to order vegan. As you said about the doctors, I think yesterday I was talking to a friend and he like works in medical care or something. And he was like, I think he was like some surgeon or something, and
Mm.
he said that he had almost lost somebody during surgery. I just wanted to relate to that, I guess, or bring that up. He'd
Yeah.
be like, devastated.
I can't even imagine what
Yeah.
they must go through, man. When someone's life is in your hands
It
like
must be
that.
horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, what I'm talking about here is it's not the big difference between what we're talking about here and that is that when it's someone when you're actually doing the surgery, you physically see the person live or die. This is what you were saying
Right.
earlier that when you're choosing what you buy at the supermarket, you don't actually see what your purchase pays for. You don't actually get to see what happened and what will happen again because of what you bought. So, but imagine if we actually had to live the same way as a surgeon lives. Imagine if every single purchase we made in a supermarket, we actually had to kill the animal, right? We had to do that ourselves and decide who lived and who died. I think most people would be eating plant-based, right? At that point, I think
Definitely,
if
I
they had
would.
the choice. I mean, if it was plant-based or meat side by side on the shelf, I think most people are going to choose plant-based if they have to kill for meat, you know?
Yeah, I would be pro-vegan if that were the situation. Like, I would not. No way. No, dude.
Well, that is the situation, though. The only difference is instead of you doing the
Right.
killing, you pay someone else to do it. And look, if the animals weren't enough for you to take the jump and do this, think about the humans, because people working in slaughterhouses and they are riddled with PTSD, anxiety, and depression from the job they're doing. So, and just because people can't do it themselves, so they pay often poor people to do it. These people are often immigrants. They can't get another job. They're often only qualified to do that job because the company put them through the training. You know, they don't have other qualifications. So this is also another huge reason. It's just the whole industry is a complete horror show, mate. And you know, for both animals and for the humans who work in it. So it's absolutely, you know, obviously I'm biased, but I mean, I don't think maybe I'm not though, man, because you agree with me that this is horrible. I'm sure you're not going to tell me you think all of that's good. It's objectively bad, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, it's horrible. I, dude, I'm with you, right? Like, it's horrible. Like, I would not want to be. I would not want to have that job as the butcher or whatever they call them.
Slaughterhouse workers, yeah, like slaughterers or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, it's a brutal job, man. Brutal.
Yeah, and
They talk
people
about like
shouldn't be going through that.
what's that? Sorry.
Says like people shouldn't be going through that or have that kind of job.
No, man. They have nightmares like about killing animals and stuff. Like there's YouTube interviews on YouTube and you know across the internet you can find people who've worked in these places and you know really fucked them up. But yeah, the good news is anyway, man. We're getting into a dark hole here, but there is good news here that you don't have to pay for all of that. That's the beauty of it. It's not like this is our only choice. It's not. So you can move forward now and not be a part of that. And all you got to do is you know go for it, jump off the edge and change the things in your life and yeah take the risk. You know, some people are going to give you shit and make fun of you and stuff like that, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, eventually it'll be like water off a duck off a water's back. It'll be like water off a duck's back eventually, mate. And more and more people, more and more communities popping up all over the world. There are vegans everywhere now, so it's nowhere near as let's say exclusive as it used to be. Now there are just vegans everywhere. Average people living average lives. So you won't be alone for sure. Not like 10 years ago, which I remember very clearly, like 10, 12 years ago. I was like the only vegan I knew. So it's not like that anymore, man. But yeah, dude, were you listening earlier? There's a website, challenge22.com. That's what I would really recommend you start there. It's 100% free. And you probably, if you're on my YouTube, you've probably seen me, you know, talk about it. It's usually in the comments and the description of my videos. And it's totally free. And these are people like nutritionists, chefs, dietitians, and people who will help you for free because they also want to help animals and they know that helping you helps animals. So they volunteer their time. So you should definitely sign up to that and you know, kick it off, man. Get started.
Definitely. When I can, I'll most definitely I'll try it out.
Yeah, man, go for it. You've got nothing to lose, man. They'll help you with the supermarkets. They'll help you with everything. That's a great way to start because they'll give you like 22 days to begin and just to help you get your footing and you know, kick it off. And then from there on, you can either stay after 22 days. Excuse me, after 22 days, they can keep helping you if you want. But if you're happy to go ahead by yourself, then yeah, you're set to go after that. That's the idea.
Yeah. I'll give it a try. I don't know, like someone just sent me. When I can, I'll sign up and give it a try. It's like free, right? There's no like
100% free.
paid subscription.
No, 100% free, man.
All right, yeah, I'll definitely give it sometime then, because I don't have any money for that or for anything that is a paid subscription.
Yeah,
I'll give
there's
it a try.
there's nothing like that. Yeah, it's free, man. It's free. They'll yeah, there's no subscription thing with it at all. It's like a charity thing. They're just trying to help people go vegan. They don't want money.
Yeah. I guess before I go, do you still do those like Face to Facts Friday streams or anything?
Yeah, man.
I saw this. I've been getting these YouTube ads of like some lawsuit against Alpha Foods or
Yeah.
something. And I figure you could look into it.
I
or
already did,
something.
man. It's in the last week's video.
You did?
Yeah.
I guess I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, check it out. It's there on my channel now. It's funny you mention it. Yeah, that's the headline story from the last video I did on the the news.
Yeah, I've been getting ads like nonstop just of just that lawsuit.
That's funny. Yeah, you should check it out. It's quite funny how it goes. Yeah, you'll see. Go and check it out, and you'll see how. I don't want to spoil it for you, but yeah, I covered it in a little bit of detail, so you can check it.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, you
especially
too,
just
man.
watching your videos a lot.
I appreciate your time and your honesty. You're very real, man. You've got a lot of self-reflection. You know what you're about. You know how you feel. I think it's rare to see that in people. To be honest, people tend to never look inside and figure things out. And it's great to see that you've done that. And yeah, drop me if you need any more help or if you have any more questions, man. Best way to get me is probably on Instagram. It's where I'm most active in the messages. So it's David Rams on Instagram. So just drop me a message if there's anything else you want to check. And yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. It was nice talking to you. I'm gonna know, but yeah,
Cool, man.
It was nice seeing you.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks a lot. See you later.
Yeah.
Cool. It's been pretty let's say not very dramatic. I mean, in the title of my video on YouTube, I put the word dramatic because I don't know, I thought it might be dramatic with the name of the name of the video and everything, or the name of the stage, but yeah, I guess not. It's all good anyway. It's all good. We've still got time. No, I hope it stays like this. It's nice to have some nice conversations for once and not just trollings and stuff like that. We did get it. Oh, we've got a super chat from Artemis. Shout out to Perpetually Loves All Animals and David. Cool. Thanks so much. And I love the Ryback eating chips thing. And thank you so much for your super chat. And we have donation from Mark HNS, who says, Mark J here, vegan for some 40 years, living my own truth for my animal friends. I couldn't care less about what family and friends think. They're on the wrong side of history. Thank you, David. Love you, brother. Yeah, I absolutely, theoretically, I'm 100% with you on that. Like, as in ideologically, yes, who gives a fuck what they think? Really, though, reality-wise, a lot of people can't get on board with that. They rely on their families and stuff, which is why. So I understand, I understand both sides of this. Like, yeah, if your family are being shit, then screw them. But also, a lot of people can't do that. They need the family. So it is a balance sometimes, it's a balance. But yeah, you guys are active in the chat. Good to see. I am keeping an eye on the chat, by the way. And just there's so much of chatting. That's why I'm not responding. But not responding so much. But if you do want to get your comments responded to, or you've got some points you want me to make sure to use the Streamlabs link and send a donation, and we'll do it. We'll cover it. So let's see who's next. Got someone waiting called Jeremy Mann. I think it's like a Spider-Man. Yeah, he's got Spider-Man for his. I think it's Spider-Man for his avatar profile pic. What's up? Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How's it going?
Good. How's your day? Can I be the next person? Hi. Never mind. Hi. I am at the not vegan side.
Yeah. Why have you got a voice changer on, man? Just quickly.
Okay. So I'm 13, but some people don't think I am, so I have to do it because they think I'm not 13, so they'll ban me right away. I mean, I'm 13. My birthday is on September 16. I was born in 2008.
So you put the voice changer on because your voice sounds too young. You say if you feel.
Yes.
All right. Well, yeah, we can roll with it, man. Don't worry. It's all good. So do you have a brutally honest opinion about vegans keeping it safe for work?
So I think vegans, like they have a point, but like there should be a way for humans to eat, if you know what I mean. I think that it's the wrong way how they slaughter animals. I think like in slaughterhouses, the right way is to like do it without pain because some like they make it really painful it's and the problem with they force cows to give up their childs and give kid and their take their milk for their child and they just give the child a little bit of milk to grow up. I think that's wrong, but I think vegan vegans are a little bit wrong because humans are still a part of nature. We should be able to act like nature, to act like nature. So we should be able to eat meat.
Right. So
So
there's two main things, just to make sure I'm understanding you properly, yeah? So one thing, you want to kill animals in a nicer way. And the second thing, we are part of nature, so we should be able to kill animals like other animals do it, right?
for food.
Yeah, for food. Okay. Is that correct? Are the two things that you have like a problem with vegans? That those are the two things that bother you? Or is there
No,
anything
it's
else?
one thing I just said like, but I think that before you say since we're omnivores we can eat plants too, there are some omnivore animals
Yeah.
that also eat
I know. Yeah,
meat.
yeah. No, I'm not gonna. Don't worry. Don't. I'm not. I'm not gonna. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for confirming. I know that. Yeah. I appreciate you covering that point. So with the killing animals in a nicer way. So can I ask you like what is it possible? Do you think it's possible for you to get all of your nutrition and everything without killing animals at all, as in eating plant-based food? Do you think that's a
Uh,
possible thing?
no, because since meat has lots of proteins and the plants don't have enough protein to help us live, like we need a certain amount of protein for us to be healthy, and
Yeah.
plants can't support that.
Okay. Where has that information come from? How did you find that out?
I just use common sense, I guess.
That's the problem
Like
with
common
common
sense.
sense. Normally, it's not sensical. This is an issue, like for sure.
Search
Yeah.
them. Uh,
So I'm just no, it's okay.
does
Let
a
me just
plant?
I'll just mention this,
Okay.
like just explain this. So common sense, we got to be careful with it. Like I do this as well, by the way. It's not like I don't do this. Sometimes I say things that I think are common sense and they're not. And this is a problem that most people think, oh, it's common sense that plants don't have protein, but it's not true. Plants have protein. Okay, every vegetable and fruit has protein. Now, obviously, some of them don't have much protein, but some of them have a lot of protein. For example, there are things like beans and lentils and chickpeas. There are things like tahini, like sesame seeds, all different seeds. These things have a lot of protein. And then you can go down a level, and then there are other vegetables and other plant foods that have less protein. You know, even things like that you wouldn't imagine, like rice and pasta, even tomatoes have protein. So that the idea that you can only get protein from meat is it's not completely true. It's not true.
I know,
You
I know, but people that need enough protein, like some people that need like more protein than other humans.
Yeah, it's true.
because,
Like
maybe they
athletes
have,
or yeah.
no, not like that. Maybe people that are physically
Yeah, whatever
like
they need more
physically,
protein. Yeah, whatever the reason is. Yeah, so they can get that from
because
plant-based foods. It's
no,
possible.
not like people with disabilities. Maybe they need more protein. Like I
Yeah.
think there's
Okay.
some people have like it's something about the protein. So like people,
Sure.
there's some people with unstable bodies.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can get, as I just explained, you know, you can get protein from plants. So those people can get the protein from plants. And if there is someone out there in the world, which I'm sure there is, somebody who for some reason they can't get protein from plants, there's something wrong with them, with their body, they need to, then that's a whole other topic and a whole other conversation. And of course there are people with very specific, very serious problems that maybe make their lives almost impossible to live, right? But that's not most people, is it? And that's not you either. What I'm talking about is the majority of people. The majority of people can easily get all the nutrients they need without animal products. We can agree. Can we agree on that, or do you disagree?
Yeah, but if you don't want to eat, I think 3,000. Uh, because most meats have more protein than plants.
Yeah.
So you don't want to eat like, because maybe let's say you need 100 broccolis to eat enough protein for a whole week.
Yeah.
Or no, like
Well,
maybe
if you're choosing
whole
broccoli as an
day.
example, it's not a good example, but
Doesn't have to, not okay. It doesn't have to be broccoli.
yeah,
Anything that has protein,
yeah,
like, you need to eat a lot of that to
yeah.
get enough protein. And the problem is that some people might have full bodies that they cannot eat enough of, like might get full before eating all of the like enough plants to get enough protein.
It's almost impossible to not get a sufficient amount of protein if you're eating a balanced plant-based diet. To become protein deficient on a balanced plant-based diet it would be either impossible or extremely difficult. As let me repeat that again, balanced, as in a diet that is covering many different like types of vegetables and plants and fruits. If that's what you're eating, you're going to struggle to become protein deficient. Okay, it's going to be very difficult. It's so what I'm saying to you is that it is possible, and the people are doing it. It's not like I'm just guessing. Many people, even top level athletes, are eating plant-based, and they're performing at the highest levels and winning national championships and competing in the Olympics. So it's completely possible. So then the point I'm getting at here is, you talked about good and bad ways of killing at the beginning. Let's go back to that now. And the reason I wanted to talk about this first is because I agree with you. There are worse ways to kill someone, and there are bad ways to kill someone. There's like bad and worse. Yeah, for sure. There's no doubt about that. But when there is no need to kill them in the first place, well, what does it matter if it was a bad way or a really bad way? Well, it's all bad. None of it's good. So then what does it matter if you said with no pain, or they're still being killed for a sandwich, for something that is not needed, right? So that was what I wanted to cover with that point.
And for the same reason, we're all gonna die. They're gonna die anyways. So why not kill them for the food?
Well, they may have died anyway at some point, but they wouldn't have died screaming and begging for their life as someone shot them in the head and slit their throat. And also, if the argument is that, well, they would be killed in nature, well, no, they wouldn't, because they wouldn't have ever existed. These animals don't come from the wild. They're being bred by a farmer. They're created to be killed. So it's not like you're saving them from nature when you put them in a factory farm. They would never. These animals aren't naturally occurring animals. Do you understand? Like they're not wild cows. They're not wild chickens. They are
I understand
domesticated
you, but
animals.
tell me, have you ever eaten meat?
Sorry.
Have you ever eaten meat?
What's the reason you're asking that question? Seems like a bit of a dodge, like moving away from the topic. What? How is it relevant to the conversation?
Um,
How is it
okay,
relevant to the last
I
point?
was, I
'Cause
was
I
just
just want to
trying
make
to
sure
lead
we.
to something. I was trying to lead into something else, but
Well,
wait,
let's okay,
we're
but
still
let's.
humans.
I'll tell you what.
Oh,
I can
sorry.
answer that question. First of all, let me just quickly cover off what we were talking about, and then just we can come back to that. So yeah, that's the point I was trying to make with you. That if it's not necessary to kill at all, it doesn't matter if the killing is worse or just bad, right? It's all bad, so let's not do it. The second thing you spoke about is that we are animals, and animals are in nature, so we are also animals, so we should be able to kill. Now that's an easy thing for us to get into and just kind of put aside, because there are many things that animals do in the wild that we would never ever do. For example, a male lion, when they join a new pride, they kill the babies of the previous male lion. If you suddenly, well, I don't know if you're a guy or a girl, but if you went and suddenly married someone, and you know, whatever, you killed their kids or they killed your kids from a previous marriage, we wouldn't say that's okay because it happens in the nature, would we? So if we're gonna use nature as an excuse to do things, then we end up in a very bad place, don't we? Where we can do anything basically. The animals force themselves on each other. Have you seen how ducks mate? Have you seen what ducks do? You should look into that. Ducks are extremely violent when they're breeding. They're like horrible. They like gang up on each other. The male ducks, they gang up on the female duck and take turns on her when they're mating, right? It's horrible. We would never do that in human society, even though ducks do it,
Oh,
right? So the point is that we shouldn't base what we do on them. And I don't think we need to go any further into that. But what you were saying to me, like, okay, have I ever eaten meat? I've only ever eaten meat by accident. So, but before that, no, I hadn't eaten meat. So what's the reason you asked that?
tell me, wait, before I talk about that, tell me,
Yeah.
what was it? Oh, yeah. If, let's say, you get a lion to your house, okay? It will, whatever you do, it will lion to your house and get another lion, so it doesn't act like, it will still like have like natural natural actions that, how do I say this to you? Like, let's say humans, we like food, we like meat, right?
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
and because, but we can't do nothing about it. We naturally like meat. I mean, not naturally. Some people don't like meat,
Yeah.
but most of the humans like meat naturally because we've been eating meat for thousands of years. You know?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. So what's the point? I mean, if that's all the point is, then well, some
No,
people like to force themselves on women, and technically we've done that for thousands and thousands of years. You know, men like to do that. Men also like to be completely dominant over women. We've done that for thousands of years. For thousands of years, men have been the leaders of society. Women have been second-rate citizens. Well, it doesn't matter if it happened for thousands of years, because now
what?
in 2021 we now look and we say, no, those 1,000-year-old traditions are incorrect and we want to have equal rights now. So my point is that thousands of years of something happening, it doesn't mean that the thing is good, even if it feels good for some people. Because men love having power, of course. We all like feeling of power. But if it means somebody else has to go through a shit time, then we should say, no, actually, it doesn't matter if I like that feeling. It's hurting them, it makes their life shit. So let's not do that.
Wait, we're still a part of nature. We cannot do nothing. We can't wait. If you compare yourself to a cow, what do you think? A cow eats it's a herbivore, okay?
Yeah.
And we are omnivores, okay?
Yep.
Okay, that's a comparison what we eat. How does that like? It's natural that we are omnivores. We always eat it. I mean, I don't know how to
Yes, I
explain
understand
it
what
to
you're
you.
saying. So the argument you're making is like this, right? You're saying our biology, our digestive system, we got this way. We were eating meat. We were eating animal products, right? So our bodies can do that. So for thousands of years, that's what we were doing. Our bodies are able to do that. Therefore, we should do it. Now, the reason there's a problem with this idea that you've got is because also like my hands, our hands, your hands are just like my hands, right? We have the same, hands, the same kind of arms. Well, our hands and arms, for a very long time, our ancestors were using them to kill people. And they were also using them to force themselves on people. If you're a guy, like I said earlier, you come from your ancestors, your male ancestors, if you are a guy, they will have been using their hands to kill other men and to force their way onto women at times, because why not? There were, at some point in human history, this was totally okay. So you could say technically our hands and arms are evolved for that reason, but that wouldn't make any sense. You'd say, well, no, that's not why they're here. No, like we can do that with our hands, but we choose not to because we realize that this is not okay. Now, the same thing goes for the inside of your body. You can choose to eat things that you can digest. You can digest lots of things, but you can also say, well, no, my body can digest that meat and it can digest the milk and all these things, but it doesn't matter that it can do it. I can choose not to do it and I'll still be healthy. Just the same way you can choose not to go around killing people and forcing yourself on people and you're still going to be healthy. Do you understand? Your body's capable of doing a lot of things, but it doesn't mean you just do them.
We're still a part of nature. I know you're saying that it's an excuse to do anything, but we're still. Don't say we're not a part of nature. We are.
I didn't say we weren't a part of nature. We're animals.
No, before. No. I mean, like, not. Don't use the excuse of being a part of nature to do anything. That's what you said. Not.
It is.
not
It is.
being
Yes.
part of nature.
You're looking at nature.
But we're still humans. I mean, we still have. No matter what, humans are still gonna eat meat.
Okay. So what is that? How does that? It's not relevant. Yes. No matter. Listen, Jeremy. No matter what we do, humans are still going to kill people, other humans. No matter what we do, men are still going to abuse women. No matter what we do, white people are still going to abuse black people. No matter what we do, all of these things are going to happen. Does that mean that we should just do that too? Or should we
no matter
say
what
we're not going to do that?
We're still gonna have the urge to eat meat.
Right, and no matter what we do, some men are going to have the urge to abuse women. Do you understand? The logic doesn't make sense. There are some people out there who are always going to have certain urges. It doesn't mean that the rest of us have to do it too. We can say, okay, maybe you have that urge to eat meat. It doesn't mean you have to do it. You can say, no, I'm not going to do it because I don't believe this is right. Just the same way, there are certain people in the world, I'll focus on men again, who definitely have the urge to abuse someone else because they have an issue or whatever, but they choose not to do it because they look around the society and they say, do you know what? There are other people doing this and I could do this, but I'll choose not to. Just the same way, and there's so many examples of in the past where everybody was doing something and a select few people stood up and said, no, I'm not going to do this, even though it makes me feel good. And even though I have the urge to do it, I'm not going to do it because it's wrong. That's what you can do as well. You can either be part of this system that's doing all this to animals and make these excuses and try and argue to kill, or you can be one of the people that stands up and says, actually, no, I don't need to kill, even though I feel like I have the urge to. I don't need to, and you can change and be different and join a very big growing community of people all around the world who are doing that, which it's a lot more people now than it has been ever. That's your choice, and it is a choice. But the reason I'm here is that I hope you'll choose the not killing option. I hope you'll choose the one that doesn't have the violence, because I don't know. I would like to believe that you're not a bad person. I'd like to believe that you have good intentions and you want to be good for animals.
But Animals eat people and other animals too. It's just how life works. No matter what we're, it's
Yeah,
just how
Jeremy.
life works. It's natural how we're gonna eat it.
It is
We have
natural.
to eat
Yeah,
it.
it is natural.
Food chain.
Just
It's
like
even natural for us.
totally, yeah, it's natural. Just like abusing other people is totally natural, as I said, and just like all the other things are natural. The fact that it's natural doesn't make it automatically good. There are so many things that are natural and we don't do because we decided collectively as a society that these things, although we've done them for a very long time, it doesn't matter because they are hurting others, whether it be other people or whether it be other animals. We don't do it anymore. So we'll wrap it up there, mate. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm going to move on to someone else now. And
Okay, just one last question.
yeah, go ahead.
What are your thoughts about the that vegan teacher?
That vegan teacher. So we spoke briefly about her earlier. I think she's well. I know.
I heard about it.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, no, with vegan Miss with Kate.
No, but
Sorry, say again. I missed that.
nothing.
So basically, yeah,
Never
I know the vegan teacher personally. I think she does very let's say unique work. I'd say it's cringy. She knows it's cringy. I know it's cringy. Lots of people don't like her because of the cringe, but I support her. I think she's doing a good job getting thousands, millions of people to click on her videos and watch something about veganism. So I think even if you hate her, I think it's actually a good thing because at least you're just seeing something about veganism and she's teaching you something, even if you hate her. So I think she's doing a good job. And yeah, I mean, it's not if you get a lot of haters being a vegan sometimes, and she gets the most, I'd say. So it is what it is, mate.
But at least if veganism is like, if it happens, that's the problem with vegans is even though they're vegans, they shouldn't make their dog or anything like their pet
Yeah.
vegans.
Why not?
Yeah, because they actually need it.
And where did you hear that?
And we need it. Like, okay, then now should we just remove meat from lions and give them plants?
Well, what do you think a lion can survive on plants? Do you think that's what they're built to eat? Yes or no?
No,
No. Do you think the dog can?
they can, but they would live shorter, and they will like they want to be as healthy as they
That's
as
interesting.
they are.
It's funny you say that. The world record for the longest living dog was a vegetarian dog. So that's not true. And dogs and cats are domesticated, right? They're domesticated animals. So what that means is they can't survive in the wild. They need human intervention, right? Otherwise they will most likely starve to death because they're not built to be out in the wild, really. So at the end of the day, if you can feed a dog or a cat with food that meets their nutritional requirements and means that you don't have to kill other animals and they would be healthy, why wouldn't you do it? With dogs, it's pretty easy. I know actual full animal shelters with 100 dogs, and they're all eating plant-based and they're all healthy. No problem. With cats, it's a little bit more complicated, and it can be done, but the more practical solution for cats, I think, is going to be lab meat, like laboratory grown meat, because it requires a lot. It doesn't require slaughter, and I think that's the future for cats and other carnivorous animals. But yeah, for dogs, it's not a problem for dogs to eat plant-based most of the time. For cats, it can be a bit more complicated. But anyway, that's
But we still have
yeah. Go ahead.
but we wait if you want. Oh, sorry. Continue.
It's all right. Go ahead.
Okay. So chickens. Well, we help them. We feed them until they're in a necessary age to grow up. Until we can kill them and eat them. We are helping them so they can. So, but they're helping us too. So if we help them,
If that's sorry, mate. If your idea of helping a chicken is slitting their throat, then I don't want to be helped by you, man. I don't ever try and help me, mate. If that's your idea of being helpful, we're not.
okay, maybe
we're-
what I said was
Listen, we're not helping chickens by breeding them and putting them in slaughterhouses and slitting their throats. All right, I promise you, they don't want that. Okay, it's not helpful. It's the opposite of helpful.
But we earned like being like we worked for this to how do I say this? We wait we how do I say this? Well, I guess bye.
All right, mate. Cheers for your time.
Thank you.
See you later.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I figured just wrap that one up. Didn't really get into much, did we? There's someone in the comments saying Sverage released this kid. Oh my goodness. Not the most productive of conversations, but hey, look, I think people listening got what I was trying to say, and we didn't really get like a yeah. When the voice changes on, I don't know. It's hard to take it seriously. I did think I was being trolled for a little bit, but I don't think they were trolling. So excuse me. Thank you, individual who donated $5. Thank you so much, and says thank you for all you do, David. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Actually, this weekend, this last week, I've actually been out on the streets twice. No, yeah, twice. No, 3 times. Jesus, 3 times last week. I was out on the streets doing street interviews and filming, and then last night I also went out and did a cube of truth, like a outreach, and then today doing this. So no, I really appreciate the support. As a it's taxing. It's been a while since I've done so much of this kind of conversations, but I really do appreciate the people who engage with me in these conversations and come and talk, and it's important to have them, and I'm very passionate about getting this information out there. So I'm soldiering on. We're doing all right. It's nice to be finally living back in a city again, so I can actually get out there and talk to people in the street. And most people speak English, which is I only speak English and Spanish, so it's great to be able to do this again. All right, so let's get back in here. Mr. Dom is going to come in, and we're going to have a little chat, some brutally honest opinions, hopefully. Oh, you're flipping the bird in your profile pic, man. That's an aggressive start.
Oh, sorry. Honor me.
It's fine, man. Cool. Thanks for coming up. Do you have a brutally honest but safe for work opinion about vegans?
No, you seem pretty chill. You seem like a pretty cool guy. Vegans do what they do because there's a reason behind it. So, no, you're pretty cool.
Fair enough. Is that what you came here to say?
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. I just want to say you're pretty cool. So.
Oh, cool, man. Are you a vegan yourself or not?
No, I'm not. But
okay,
they're pretty cool when they do it their own lifestyle and don't try to force it on other people. They're pretty cool.
Are you in Australia by any chance?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, just checking the accent. Yeah. So when you say force, are you thinking like Tash Peterson? Is that what you mean by forcing? Or I guess you've seen her in the news and stuff.
I guess like the over the top, like, do this, you must be vegan, look what this happening here, look at this, like you can't keep eating meat. And it's just like, look, I appreciate what you're doing, but I'm gonna live how I want to live. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Do you agree with that? Like not obviously you don't agree with the action or whatever, but do you agree with what they're saying? Like as in like for example, like what I've described it before about animals going into slaughterhouses, like they get bolt gunned in the head, in the skull, and the throat gets slit. Or in the dairy industry, they force arms inside them and like make them get pregnant. Injecting like semen into them. There's a lot of violence and death. And you'll live how you want to live, right? So do you want to support that? Is that like something you're pro, or would you say you would be against that?
Can I swear?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that shit's fucked.
Yeah.
No, that's like fucked. I try to buy stuff that's like animal cruelty free because I think that's just disgusting. Like I know that we have to eat and there has to be a supply, but that's just like that's not okay.
Yeah.
Like insemination and whatnot. That's no.
No, it's
That's not
brutal,
it.
man. It's horrible. So that's the thing is like it's interesting because obviously I get what you mean. Like if you don't like the way vegans are like doing activism and stuff like that, but you actually agree. That's the weird thing, and well, it's the interesting thing. It's not like you disagree with what they're saying, what vegans say. You're on board.
It's a paradox.
Right. So, and you say like cruelty free stuff. Like, what do you mean by that? You say you're buying cruelty free. Like, what kind of things are you buying that are cruelty free?
Let Let me think about this one for a second so I don't sound dumb.
It's all right, but don't worry about that, man. There's no pressure.
Well, a lot of it's like actual products, like hair stuff and whatnot, making sure that's like not tested on animals and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
for actual food, animal creature food, I don't know, I guess I'd say eggs, but I don't think there's like really. Is there cruelty in eggs? I haven't really done too much research on that topic. But
Yeah,
like,
that's all right, man. I was born veggie, right? Vegetarian. So for like my entire life, I've thought there was like no cruelty in eggs. I thought dairy was fine, milk is fine, eggs is fine. I thought it was all fine. But I found out pretty brutally like I was wrong. It was completely fucking wrong. So with the egg industry, right? The female chickens are the ones they want because they make eggs and they make them money. And the breed of the chickens that they use, they're not the best chickens for the meat industry. They don't grow very as big, or they're just not the right type, right? So if the male chickens are born in the egg industry, which happens a lot, then they are a waste product because they're boys, they don't make eggs. So what they do in most, and in Australia they definitely do this, but in most big countries around the world they do this. They kill them after they've been alive for like 2 minutes. In Australia, they do it with a giant blender, like it's like a macerator. So if you imagine, I don't know if you know what a macerator is, but it's like there's these like metal prongs, and they kind of, you know, like on. Let me try and describe this. You know, like on there's like movies where like I don't know, there's like a villain's lair or something, and the hero's like going slowly towards this massive machine that's going to like crunch him up or whatever. You know those kind of things in cartoons and stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
It's like one of
Yeah,
those,
yeah.
right? And they just drop them into that, these living little baby chicks. That's how they kill them. And they do it because they're a waste product. So that's one thing that happens in the egg industry. The other thing that happens is the chickens themselves, they're not supposed to lay like as many eggs as they do. They lay like 300 a year. They're supposed to lay 12 in the nature. So it fucks their bodies up really badly. And then they have a really low life expectancy as well because of that. But they don't even get to live that because when they stop making as many eggs, like they become less profitable. So what the farmers do, the second they become more profitable dead, as in the second they're not making enough eggs, they'd be worth more dead, the farmers just sell them off to the slaughterhouse and they get killed. So that's the egg industry. The milk industry is pretty much the same, except they don't kill the baby male, you know, the boy calves. They don't kill them in a big macerator. They just kill them in a slaughterhouse. They shoot them in the head and slit their throats as babies because they're useless for the dairy industry. They sell them as veal. So it's fucked up, mate, across the board. And that's just meat, dairy, and eggs. They're all together, and that's how it works. These are like standard practices. This is just normality. It's not like these are not the worst places. There's even worse than that. This is just standard. This is like the norm.
It's pretty fucking munted, lad.
It's fucked, mate. It's completely fucked, mate. A complete mess. There's actually a documentary from Australia that's like world famous because it exposed all of this stuff. It's called Dominion. It's on YouTube. It's like two hours long, and it's basically it just covers everything, like everything that they're trying to hide from you. This documentary exposes it, and yeah, the industries were really pissed off about it because obviously they've tried to hide that shit for so many years.
Fucking earth. Did that dude get like sued and shit? Because like he like fucked up there.
Oh man, yeah. The people who made that, they've been in loads of legal shit. Yeah, but the documentary stayed, which is good. Didn't get taken down. But yeah, they broke the law, obviously, going into these places and filming and stuff. So they got in some shit. But luckily, the documentary's still up. And yeah. But yeah, there was like the guy who made it was even he went and did like what is it? You know, they go and speak to Congress and they have to defend themselves. They actually went and did that. So it was like a big thing in Australia. But fortunately, they got away. They didn't get away with it. Like they got off with like it wasn't. They kind of got away with it. Yeah, the documentary's still up. So yeah, they got away with that at least, which is good.
So for the like, say for the like the seafood industry and whatnot, like squid and all that shit.
Yeah.
Is it like the same there? Like pretty fucked there. I know there's like overfishing and shit that goes on with like the fish and the tuna, but like what about like the octopuses and whatnot and the squid?
With the octopi, by the way, like
Yeah.
I know it's me. I almost said it myself. I was like, is it octopus? I can't even remember. But yeah, with those guys
It's
anyway.
fucking 4 a.m. for me, bro. I'm like, I'm not in it.
Fair enough. But yeah, with that, so I don't know what they're doing with the octopus like population. I don't know how I don't know if they're breeding them and you know, doing it like they do with other animals. I'm not 100% sure, but I know they have fish farms for other sea animals, and they're fucking horrendous. Like it's basically like factory farms for fish. They have these monstrous areas of the ocean where they've got these nets and they just breed the fish in really close proximity, and they get all like diseased and infected and shit. And they kill them in like the numbers. Check this out. They kill so many fish that they can't even measure how many they kill. They have to do it in weight. That's how they measure how many fish have been killed in a weight. They can't count each individual one because they kill so many. It's phenomenal.
Have you seen that the fish documentary? I think it's called like Blue or something.
There's that one, and there's one called Seaspiracy that just came out. Actually, you should check that out. That one's pretty shocking as well, and that covers a lot of what I just said. Yeah, so Dominion and Seaspiracy, those two cover basically everything that we're talking about here. It's mental, mate.
That's pretty scuffed, mate.
Yeah, that's brutal. What do you think? Like you're clearly. I don't think anyone, mate. No one likes this stuff. I've never met anyone. Well, you get trolls, right? Who sit there and say, "Yo, it's fine. It's all good. I like it." But like 99% of people are like, "No, I don't want to." That's fucked up. So what do you think stops you from not paying for it then? Like what stops you from saying, "Now fuck all of that. I'm not going to pay for it. I'm just going to eat the plant-based food instead."
I know it's fucked, but like ignorance is bliss and whatnot. So I've been raised on eating meat my entire life. I've just assumed you have to eat meat to be like fucking big and strong, you know the thing.
Yeah.
So I've just gone living that my entire life. But I don't know. I've been starting to get more into some plant-based stuff like tofu and whatnot recently, experimenting with all that shit in my cooking. But yeah, I don't know. Good question. I guess I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's definitely nothing stopping you. I mean, if you want to get big, I mean, if that's an aim for you, there are plenty of people who are fucking massive, man. I've just been hanging out with a few over this weekend. A couple of guys who are like, one of them's like a calisthenics champion, is like 7-time champion of Greece, and he's been vegan 7 years. Another guy been vegan also for like 7 or 8 years. Guy's an absolute, like, he's huge. He's like 100. He's like, I don't know what you do feet in Australia, right? Same as England? Yeah, so
No,
he's like,
we do feet.
Okay. Yeah. Well, he's like 6'1", like 188 centimeters, and he's 103 kilos in weight, like of muscle. The guy's massive, and he's just eating.
Fucking big lad.
He's massive, man. I couldn't even believe. He looked big, and then I asked him how much do you weigh. He was like, "Yeah, 103 kilos." Like, what the fuck, man? That's crazy. Like, the mass is crazy, and he's been vegan for 8 years. So it's
I mean,
you know, these are average people, man. These are not like fucking pro athletes with millions of dollars or something like that. They're just average people.
I'm 6'3", 194 centimeters around that.
Okay.
And I just assumed it was just a fucking meat, you know. The meat makes you big strong. Also that and milk. I
Yeah.
drank a lot of milk when I was calcium and whatnot.
Yeah.
Is there like calcium like plant-based stuff, or is that not a thing?
Yeah, man. Yeah. There's tons of calcium in plants. It's just the milk industry like got in our heads when we were kids, and our parents' heads, and told us that, oh, the only place to get milk is calcium is milk. But that's bullshit. There's vegetables with calcium. There's like seeds and nuts and seeds with calcium. Lots of leafy greens, and there's loads of plant foods with calcium. Yeah. Someone's just commented actually saying correctly. Tofu has calcium. Tofu's often they add calcium into a lot of vegan foods as well, which makes it even easier. So yeah, it's calcium's fine to get, mate. And what you said earlier about thinking it was the meat. So I'm 6'2", and I was raised without meat. I didn't eat meat. I was vegetarian my whole life. So when people would say, "Oh, you need meat to get big," it's like, well, I'm 6'2". How do you explain that? You know, if you needed meat.
Fucking
right?
earth.
Yeah.
The more you know, I guess.
Yeah, man.
I mean, what was I gonna say? Oh, I don't know, because you said you've been like veggie your entire life, but isn't there supposed to be like an increase in energy when you swap from like so much red meat and shit to like veg or like vegan veg and whatever?
I've heard that. I've heard that a lot of people feel better, but then some people feel just normal. for me, when I went veggie to vegan, when I cut out all the animal products. I was only eating dairy products and eggs. I wasn't wearing any leather or fur or anything like that, or using animal tested products or anything. It was just the food that I cut out. I didn't see much of a difference, but to be honest with you, the biggest difference I saw was when I cut out oil. I stopped frying things, and I also tried to avoid processed food, and I started eating just lentils and chickpeas and rice and beans and just a lot of that instead. And that was when I was training for a marathon, so I was really focused on smashing it. And I did the marathon in like 3 hours 30 minutes, and that was my first ever one. And I'm almost 100% sure that was because of the no oil and no processed. I felt fucking awesome as well. I felt so strong. So I mean, yeah, if you eat a shitty diet, if you're a vegan and you eat a shitty diet, you're still going to feel pretty shitty probably. But if you eat like a decent diet, like the one I just mentioned, with not so much processed stuff and try and avoid like frying things, I think you'll feel a lot better. Yeah, especially if you're like a runner, you'll feel a difference big time if you're an endurance guy.
Fucking earth. Well, I do volleyball and basketball, so I tend to eat a bit of meat to keep me pumping and whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, with like an endurance sport like that, if you eat that diet I just mentioned, like the whole food, plant-based, no frying, and minimal processed stuff, like you'll see a massive difference. I can almost guarantee that if you do it properly. I mean, that you need to make sure you're ticking the boxes. You're getting everything you need. But I've mentioned it already. There's the website challenge22.com. So those guys can actually give you that info. So it's like 100% free. And they have like dietitians, nutritionists, people who can help you figure out what to eat. So to make sure you're getting everything you need so you can keep on, performing and maybe even improve the performance as well. Like I said, those guys can give you all that info for free.
Is being like vegan or vegetarian cost more, would you say?
It depends what you eat, man. If you want to go and buy like Beyond Burgers and Beyond sausages and stuff, then yeah, probably it could cost you more. Vegan cheeses and stuff like that, even though they're getting pretty cheap now, to be honest. But yeah, it could cost you a bit more if you want to do that. But if you want to buy, like I said, the whole food plant-based stuff, like you want to be super healthy and an athlete or just save money, then yeah, buying the beans and the rice and lentils and the chickpeas and the seeds and all this kind of stuff and making your own food, it's going to be a lot cheaper. The cheapest foods in a supermarket are the bulk bags of like that stuff, right? So yeah, maybe it takes a little bit more, I don't know, a bit more prep. You need to learn some new recipes and stuff, but that'll only take like a week or two to get used to it, and then you'll get into the habit,
Fucking ass. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. So have you checked? Did you find challenge22.com?
I'll be honest with you right now.
Yeah,
I'm playing
man.
Rust. I don't know if you know that game. It's a video game. I'm being rated in Rust, so
Oh, you're
I'm sort of zoning out a little bit. So
Oh, no.
you know what Rust is.
That's funny. I don't know
That's
what
why
Rust
I'm-
is, man. Is that like you say you've been raided? I know there's I've got a mate
It's a
who
fucking it's a no life game for degens that stay up till 4 a.m. to make sure they can't get raided on a video game.
I got a mate who plays what's that game, man? Like really big famous one, and you meet up and do raids and shit like that, the same as like what you're saying.
World of Warcraft.
No,
maybe?
another one. League of Legends, that's it.
Oh, I play League.
Yeah, I got a mate who's like, I know staying up till like 4 or 5 a.m. He does that as well. He's proper like into it, so I know what you're saying. But
What a sick cunt.
But yeah, man, Challenge 22, check that out. That's challenge22.com. You'll get all that info for free, and they can kick you off on the right path. And I'll tell you what, man, I'll just message you this shit because you're probably like, I don't want to like disrupt your raid. You can check this out later, right? You can check out challenge22.com. That's where you can get all the info, and they'll give you the nutritional info. Check out Dominion documentary on YouTube. The Seaspiracy one as well. That's the one that we were talking about if you want to talk about the fish. And one that I know you're going to be more interested in, the Game Changers. You should watch that, mate. That's all about athletes, bodybuilders, some of the top like athletes in the world, and they're talking about how the plant-based diet helped them improve and be like the best. It's got like some strong men and stuff like that. It's got like Olympic competitors, and It's sick, man. It's a really cool documentary, really cool movie. It's more of like a movie, The Game Changers. So definitely check it out.
Right, mate. I'll have a fucking look.
Yeah, got a lot to look at. But just keep in touch, mate. If you have any more questions, drop me a message. And or also on Instagram, it's David Rams. Same as my name here. Are you gonna check that shit out?
No, I'll give it a look. I'm just fucking a little bit busy right now, but yeah, it seems interesting. Seems like something I'd want to see how it could affect my diet and my body and my lifestyle, I guess. So
Yeah,
I'll give
man.
it a
I
look.
mean, yeah, you're definitely someone who defends animals. Like clearly, by the way you've been talking. So, yeah, go ahead and do it, man. Go and actually defend them. Don't pay these often scumbags to slit their throats. And I say often, I don't mean all of them, because some of these people, you know, they're in a shit position working in these places, but there are also some fucking scumbags who enjoy it. So, you know, don't give these people money, man. Don't have them do this for, you know, killing these animals. Go and eat something else instead, you know?
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
All right, dude.
Well,
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
See you later.
Fucking appreciate it, lad. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Or night, or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
you're doing.
Cheers, man. Cool. All right. Yeah, the guy was cool, right? I saw Tofu Matt saying he sounds like a future vegan. Totally nice guy, down to earth, honest, wasn't being dishonest at all at any point. We've had some really interesting people today. It's been pretty cool. Like hardly any conflict. I was expecting way more conflict. I guess it's weird. Like you go out looking for conflict, and then people are like, "Ah, no, he's looking for conflict. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't." It's kind of like if someone comes out wearing boxing gloves, right? And they're like totally prepared and like they look like they fight, right? You're not going to fight with them because it's like, well, clearly they're ready for a fight. But if someone's just like chilling and they're like, "Hey man, what's up?" Then the people who like to fight people, they pick on people like that, don't they? You know? So that's why the trolls ain't coming, because they're like, "Well, fuck it, he's ready for a fight, then and maybe I shouldn't go." Because they like to pick on people who are like soft or seem soft, right? People who are, I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say here? Am I making sense? They pick on people who seem weak, right? If you come out being all strong, they might probably likely to be scared. And I guess the title of our stage is pretty strong, isn't it? Tell me your brutally honest opinions on vegans. Sounds like I'm up for a fight. I'm not up for a fight, by the way. I'm happy with how it's going. I'm pleasantly surprised. But hey, still got a bit of time. How long have we been going for now? We started at like 7 my time. Been 2 hours. I think we can do a bit more. Oh, we got a donation from individual. Thank you so much. Can you read this? Yes. Everyone listening, go to the Stage 1 text channel and watch the short video I'm going to upload. Also look up eggs, male chicks on YouTube and let me know what you find. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Totally agree. And we have another donation from Michael. Thank you so much, Michael. The Ask You has donated $10 and says sterling activism. Great, David. Great stuff. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. I know these conversations do make me look really good, but that's only because the people who've been coming have been really nice, open-minded people. It's you know, like talking, having discussions with people and talking about the animals is easy when people are not pieces of shit. To be honest, and most people, no one who's popped up has been a piece of shit. Everyone's been pretty cool, so you know, reasonable. Anyway, we've got just Zamira, who's got a bat as the profile. Oh no, it's a cat as the profile pic. It's always a good start. Animal as the profile pic. Just Zamira.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Cool. Do you have a brutally honest opinion that's safe for work?
I
to tell me?
do. I do. Yes, very safe for work.
All right, go ahead then.
Okay. I don't think vegans need to be a thing in like life, I guess.
Okay. Could you elaborate a bit?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is gonna be really hard to explain because like
I mean-
I have everything written down right here because I do
Oh,
not
wow.
want to be wrong on this. I
You're
got like all
prepped.
my facts and like everything like that. I came prepared because every time I come up here I do not come prepared and I'm just always wrong.
So I'm the lucky guy to get you fully prepped, right? I'm the
Yeah,
first.
usually it's I think it's like Ixnineth. I don't know how to say his name. It's like really complicated.
Okay. Okay, well, go ahead then. Hit me. What have you
Anyway,
got? What have you
okay,
prepped?
so okay, I think vegans are good and everything. Like I like how they help like make it so not as many animals are being killed, but they also bring like a lot of hate in the world. Like if you should not, it brings a lot of conflict definitely because you have to be like, oh, you're not a vegan. Oh my God, you're like so horrible person. Because I know a lot of people do that,
Yeah.
and then you get hate for being a vegan, and that's just like even like worse because like it's not like it's a choice definitely, but um. Yeah, that's like my main like purpose thing, I guess. That's like my main sentence right here. I don't know.
Okay.
I wrote everything down, so
I don't really
that's
get.
like any. So yeah,
I don't really get the part that we. Is there a disagreement in there? Maybe I missed it. I'm kind of like. I'm not getting the brutally
okay.
honest opinion
Okay.
that should be that I need to answer.
Well, I guess the opinion was like, of course you think vegans should be a thing because you are one. You've been one since you were just a child, and so like, why do you think that they should, or like why they're like good? I guess that's like the thing that
All
I'm
right.
saying right
So
now.
you don't think it should. You don't think veganism should be a thing. You don't think the actual act
Yeah,
of being a
because
vegan should be a thing.
yeah, because we've lived perfectly fine just eating meat, but like of course it's like still a good thing. Okay,
Okay.
to be vegan because like, of
Okay.
course it gets rid of a lot of killer.
Okay. So did you cut out? Are you still there? You kind of cut.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
I am still here.
Good, great. So okay, so yeah, you're right. Yeah, people have lived for, well, okay, there's contention there in that, like, okay, people have lived fine for a very long time eating meat. Kind of yes and kind of no. Yeah, people have lived eating meat. Yeah, fine, but also people historically have lived to the age of like 30, and some of the people who were eating significant amounts of animal products. Historically, those communities had very, very low life expectancy, and they even found evidence of heart disease in some like really, really old native cultures that were eating significantly more meat than we eat now. So yes and no, right? Yeah, some people don't get any of those problems, some people do, right? So that's I can kind of agree and also disagree with that. But you said we've lived fine. If I'll agree with you. Let's go that way. I'll say yes. Okay, we've lived fine for a very long time this way. But you know who hasn't lived fine for a very long time with us living this way? The animals that we're
The
killing,
animals.
right? We can do it, yeah, fine, but they can't. They cannot live if we are slitting their throats. So yeah, maybe your argument is fine though. Yeah, we can live on fine. If we're thinking purely about ourselves, then totally, dude. I could go out right now and go and get myself a beef burger, and I'm going to be just fine. But the animal isn't going to be just fine, and that's what it means to be vegan. It's not. You're shifting the focus from what makes me happy and what makes my life easy to what about them? What about the other beings? You know, human or not human. You're thinking about others here. And when I say human as well, because it's not just animals that are suffering when they go to a slaughterhouse and have their throats slit. It's the people slitting their throats that are often having anxiety and depression and PTSD as well. So it's kind of just violence across the board, really. So that's why veganism isn't a thing because we can't live without because we are trying to make ourselves better. That's not why veganism exists. It's about the victims of our choices if we don't change our choices. That's the focus of being a vegan. If anyone tells you otherwise, most likely they're just eating plant-based for themselves, and that's just whatever. The idea of veganism is not just a diet to make yourself healthy. It's actually what I've said. It's about considering the consequences of our actions and those consequences on animals.
Oh, all right, okay. Okay, I was gonna add because like that was just my first sentence, and
Okay.
I wanted to get more into this
Go
because like
for
of
it.
course
Yeah.
like
Go for it.
I want to get more into this. Okay, so I get it. Vegans they make a big difference because there's okay. I only looked this up like a little bit, but there's about like 989 million cows, and there's about 677.6 million like pigs. Those are like main two animals that a lot of people eat. So I'm just putting those. Of
Sure,
course,
yeah.
there's like hundreds and hundreds more, but that's like main. I'm gonna say main people. There's like 166 billion if they're added up, and there's I've been on a few vegan websites, and
Okay.
the main amount of like vegans there's like pretty sure it was like 375 million. So I don't know what percentage that is of like the whole world,
Okay.
but that adds up to at least 1.3 million animals that like don't or do die still versus the 1.66 billion.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I don't feel like it makes that much of a difference. What do you have to like say about that? Like,
So okay, I get it. So your point is, what's the point? We we can't make.
I mean, it
difference
makes
kind of
a
thing.
difference, but I don't think that it makes that much of a difference. Like, what is like the big reason?
Okay. Well, I would tell you. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to use an example. I'm not saying it's the same. Okay, don't confuse what I'm saying here. I'm not saying this example I'm going to give is exactly the same. I'm just going to compare a situation similar that's at a similar situation to the one we're in now. Right? You're right. There are not enough people doing this right now. Okay, it's making some difference, but it's not making as much of a difference as we would like. But then to say that that means we shouldn't then try, we shouldn't make that difference. Like, you know the statistics, you know what's going on. If you would then decide, well, you know, fuck it, I'm not going to do anything about it because it won't make a difference. Well, we can go back in history and we can look at other examples of that completely unrelated to veganism, such as, I don't know, the rights of certain demographics in our society. Earlier on, I was talking about women's rights. We can talk about LGBT rights in certain countries. There were times not so long ago when people in those demographics had no rights at all. Like, they were lower class citizens. There were definitely people who wanted them to have rights. There were people fighting for these groups, but they were a minority. Now imagine if those people had said, well, look, there are X amount of us and there are X amount of everyone else, and they all disagree with us. So what's the point? Well, then we wouldn't have the world we have now, where in the West especially, maybe not other parts of the world for sure, but in the West, you know, these groups have rights, significantly more rights than they had at this point in time, you know, the previous point in time, significantly more. So the point is that change, it's sometimes it looks like it's not going to change, and it feels shit, and it feels like we can't make any difference. But if that makes us not do anything, then nothing will ever change. You get, it's defeatist. It's like, well, it's not going to change quick enough, so what's the point? Well, look, the world would be a horrible place if everybody had thought that way, and we wouldn't have. There'd be so many people suffering so much more than they are now if those groups just gave up, right? And we are in that group now. We're in one of these groups where we have a choice to say, well, like you said, we're making some difference. It's not enough. So does that mean we should give up, or does that mean we should keep moving forward and try, just like these other movements have done in the past? I would say let's keep moving forward and try, personally.
Oh, okay. One more I only have one more thing
Sure.
after whatever this was. I definitely understand like what you're saying, because like, yeah, I get it. Why just stop at like one big when so many people are doing it? Okay, I've seen a few other servers, I guess, saying that like we should all become vegan. Like all 7.8 billion people on Earth. Okay. Well, how I see that is like plants take a while to grow, and so if we eat all of them, what are the ones for the cows or pigs? Okay.
Okay.
And so then those are gonna go out, and so, but if we eat them all, where are we gonna have? I know we can grow them back, but it takes way longer to grow plants, or I can say certain plants, because some plants can grow in like just like a week.
Yeah.
And so a lot of plants take way longer than it would like a cow or a pig
Yeah.
would. And also like saying, yeah.
I get what you're saying, yeah. So the concern is that how we're going to feed all these other animals. So the reason that you said there was all those numbers you listed earlier are accurate and true, that there are those many animals. First of all, think about it. If there are so many cows and pigs, why do you never see them? That's an interesting question, isn't it? Where are they? Because think about it. There are like what, I don't know if it's like 9 billion now, whatever. There's like 8 billion humans, right? You see humans everywhere. You can't go anywhere without a human. But yet there are more cows, more chickens, and more pigs than humans, significantly more. Like, it's incredible amount. Where are they? Right? Now, like, that is an interesting question. I'll tell you where they are. They're in factory farms. They're not in the wild, because if they were in the wild, they'd be in our fucking cities. You wouldn't be able to walk out of your door without meeting a cow, right? This is how it would be if they were.
That's true.
You know? But they're not. They're in factory farms. So there's your answer to the question, first of all, how are we going to feed those animals? The answer is we wouldn't need to feed them if the farmers stopped breeding them. they're not going to exist.
Well, I'm like saying it like from like future, because obviously no one's just everyone right now is not just become a vegan, because
No.
of course people have like different things. So let's say because it'd be everyone, there wouldn't need to be those factory farms or this killing of everything. So everything would still be there, everything would still be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And so there'd just be cows everywhere.
Well, no, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. So, like, you're talking. Okay, realistically, what's probably going to happen is people like you are going to come up, and you're gonna be saying like, okay, like having these conversations, and then you're going to go away and you're going to go vegan. You're going to be like, okay, yeah, I don't want to fund this shit anymore. But you're just one person. It's not going to be like a million do it in one day. It's going to be more gradual, like the way it is now. Like one by one, people are going to change and tell other people. As that happens, demand is going to decrease gradually for those industries. And as demand decreases, it's not like they're just going to open their farms and let the animals run out. Unfortunately, every single animal in a farm, apart from the ones that are lucky enough to be saved and rescued, they're going to be killed. And this is a harsh truth that we have to accept. They're all going to die, apart from the very tiny minority that get rescued. But after that happens, you know, the demand decreases and drops and drops and drops. The final animals in these places, they're going to stop breeding them. They only breed them for money. So there's going to be eventually a very small amount of animals in these farms, and either they're going to be killed or they're going to be taken to sanctuaries. Obviously, I think all of us would rather they went to a sanctuary, but it's more likely that they'll be killed. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be pessimistic. It's more likely that they're going to be killed, and then that will be the end of it.
Oh yeah, of course.
It won't happen. It won't be continuing. Maybe in small pockets of the world they'll continue breeding animals, but for the majority, they won't. And when that day comes, then the issue you're talking about, where cows will be on the streets, that it's not going to happen, because it won't be so drastic. It won't be something that happens tomorrow. It'll be a lot longer time than that, and these industries will fade out, and they'll be replaced by industries and other industries like plant protein. They'll grow plant proteins. They'll grow different things. They won't kill animals anymore. That's the goal.
Okay.
Anyway, that's the goal. And about feeding people, and there would need to be a plant-based food system that replaces it. And look, I mean, imagine this. Try this out as well. This is an interesting thing to consider. There are people in the world who don't want to kill animals, right? They do not want to do it. They don't want to eat animal bodies. They don't want to kill animals. They actually genuinely love their animals. Some of these people who raise animals and get close to them, they don't want to kill them, but they have to, and they have absolutely no choice, some of these people. Can you imagine how fucking horrible that must be to live somewhere in a rural country, really out in the sticks, like somewhere like rural India, for example, or I don't know, another example, whatever, where they have no choice but to kill. Why would we want a world where somebody's forced into killing when they don't want to? So the plant-based food systems, it's not just for the animals, it's also for the people who don't want to do this anymore. It benefits everyone, is the point I'm trying to make. But especially it benefits the animals.
All right, well, I understand that. See, that's basically everything that I was asking. So thanks for this conversation. It was very nice. No fighting.
No.
Every other time I came up here, because I've talked to a lot of really I don't know what's the violent vegans.
Okay.
They just yell at me, and you're not like that, and I love that.
Well, I mean, I don't know what happened. I don't know what you've said in the past. You've obviously pissed some people off. But we're just vegans aren't we're not all the same. We have good days, we have bad days. Like, trust me, if you catch me on a bad day, maybe this conversation wouldn't have been as nice. Just the same as if I catch you on a bad day, you might tell me to fuck off. Don't judge all vegans. From a few people you meet, right? There's people have, like I said, people have good days, bad days. It's don't let it get on top of you. And where are you at now then? Because you've had a few conversations, then you've been shouted at, and now you've been spoken to. So what is your outlook now on veganism?
I still don't want to become a vegan. It's just not something that occurs to me that would make anything better, because I've seen Dominion, I've seen a lot of videos that show what goes on, because I've talked to Nineth. I don't know how to say his name. It's really
fine,
complicated.
You talk to it,
but he gives me all the videos and everything about that. I've watched it with my friends and my sister, and we've kind of just we see what goes on, but we just don't feel like becoming vegan. It just doesn't change anything, because we basically knew.
Yeah, so
knew
you
what goes
support.
on.
So you're like,
But,
so you're
yeah.
you're pro violence then, right? You support what they're doing in those videos, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say I support it. I don't like that goes on, but
Okay.
I guess I don't want to become vegan.
So then you support it then. That's what it means. Like if you see that and you don't want to stop paying for it, you could not be more literally supporting it if you tried. Like you're paying them to do it, right? So
Well, I guess I support it then.
yeah. Are you happy about that?
I mean, it doesn't really just. I just don't care about it. I know this sounds really mean, and we sound like really mean right now, but it's just like it's not something that like occurs to me that well, I guess.
But I don't believe you because you just told me that you don't support it. As in, like, you know, what's the word? Physically, you are supporting it, but like ethically, you don't support it. So you do care. Otherwise, you would just say, you know, that you don't. That you would say you don't care. You know what I mean? You see those videos. You feel. How do you feel when you see it? Like when you watched those videos, or what emotions were you feeling?
I mean, I think when I watched it, it was just like some parts were just like, I can't watch this. I need to close my eyes for this.
Yeah.
My sister, she was behind like on the video when we were watching it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was warning her about like all the parts that like when they were dying, and I was just like, if you don't want to see this, don't watch it.
Yeah.
So
but
I
then
mean,
that's
watching it for me was just like another like normal YouTube video.
You said you couldn't
That
look
has
though.
the-
What's that?
like,
How
it's
is that
like
a
a
normal
scary
video?
movie.
Yeah, it's a scary. Okay, the point.
I guess it's like a scary movie.
Yeah. The point is here is like I've had it. You're not the first person to say the things you're saying. I've had a very similar discussion with the guy who actually ended up going vegan after the discussion. I think he's here listening right now. Actually, no, he's gone. Anyway, and he said something very similar. But the point is what he was doing, and what I believe you're doing also, is you're denying your empathy. You're actually pushing it back, and you're telling yourself, "I don't care." When the reality is, you do, because you just told me you did, and you see these things and you do empathize because you're not a psychopath. You're not somebody who doesn't empathize with others, right? So clearly, I mean, I hope not. Anyway, I don't feel like I'm not getting that vibe from you. So clearly,
Yeah, I am not a psychopath. I
yeah,
swear.
I mean purely. Maybe that's not the right word. Maybe sociopath. But like the point is like I'm not using it as an insult. I'm using it as like the actual scientific, like unable to reciprocate empathy, unable to see things from someone else's perspective. You can do those things. So you see those animals. You know damn well how fucking scary it would be to be in their position. You know damn well how you would scream and beg for your life. So instead of ignoring it, so you can go ahead and keep on eating burgers, which ignorance is bliss, right? Whatever. Why live that like that when you could just eat a plant-based burger instead? That's the question, isn't it? There's nothing stopping you. So why not just align?
Oh yeah,
it,
there's not.
You know?
I mean, it's just like I guess it's just I just don't feel like it. I just like I don't want to like do that. I guess veganism is just like not for me.
So animal abuse is for you then by default. Because it doesn't
Well, if
matter.
you put it like
okay,
that, I feel bad about it.
But
Like,
that's good because it is something to feel bad for. If you don't want to be a vegan, if you've got something, okay, if your hang up is with the word vegan, no one gives a fuck if you call yourself vegan or not, man. It's not. It's really not important as to whether you want to become a fucking vegan community member or something. That's not important. It's really, really not. What matters is there's no other choices you're going to make in your life that result in life or death. This is probably the only one you're ever going to make unless you become some kind of doctor or something, right? So you, every day you get to choose life or death. Call yourself a vegan, call yourself a plant-based dieter. Don't even tell anyone if you don't want. Doesn't matter. What matters is are you going to pay for the abuse that you know exists, or are you going to pay for something else? You don't need to become something to do that. It's just you are already the thing that you're saying you don't want to become. You're already someone who gives a shit. So just act like it. That's all it is. It's not becoming vegan. It's just actually acting what you believe, because you believe that hurting others is wrong. You believe animals don't need to go through that. You don't want them to be hurt. So then just go and act like it. Go be that person that stands by that instead of the one you're being now. That's it.
Okay, well, I was just like, I feel really bad now. 'Cause like I sound like a really bad person, but I'm not. I don't like it, but I still do it.
This is it. But now it's good that you realize that though, because it's important to realize that, okay, like I've been through it. Like I'm not saying this to you as someone who's like, oh yeah, I've always been great. It's like, dude, I was full of shit. I was completely full of shit. I made the stupidest excuses. I was full of shit because when I was giving up the milk and the eggs, because I was born vegetarian, but I was still eating all cheese and the egg. I made up. You wouldn't even believe some of the stupid shit I said. So don't get me wrong. I've been through it. I've sounded like a monster. I've sounded like a horrible person. But ultimately, I realized, like I hope you realize, that we don't have to make excuses. We don't have to come out with all this bullshit. Just make a small change and eat something else and buy other products, and then you can live and be in line with what you believe. You can actually act out what you believe, right? That's it. It's all there is to it.
Okay. This is like really hard for me to explain because now I'm just like, I'm overthinking this. Okay, I get what you're saying, but it's just like, by the end of this, I probably still will not want to become a vegan. I feel bad for the animals, but I don't. I do care. It's just like, I don't mind paying for it.
So you don't.
That sounds
care.
really bad, but it's
then
like,
you don't care though. This is
I
the thing.
do care, but I don't mind it.
But then you
I
don't
do care,
But then you
about
don't
them,
care.
but I buy it still.
It's not possible. It's impossible. If you cared, you wouldn't buy it. I feel this one part of the sentence that you just said is true, and one part is a lie. And whether you're lying to me or lying to yourself is another question. You either do care, and the lie is that you don't mind paying for it. You're just telling yourself that lie so you can keep buying it, or you don't care, and the truth is that you do actually you actually don't mind paying for it, because one's true and one's false. They can't both be true. You can't care and not mind paying for it, because that doesn't make any sense. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't know how to explain it right.
You're explaining it perfectly right. My vote is that you do care, and you're saying you don't mind paying for it because you don't want to change. That's what I think. I think the second part is a lie. I think you know damn right that paying for it is horrible, but you just don't want to admit it because then you know you're gonna have to change. But the good thing is that you don't change. It's not even a big deal. You can do it so easily, and you don't even have to do it alone. You know, if that's what's scaring you, like, oh, this big change is going to be so tough, and I don't want to do it, and God, everything's going to be like complicated. Like, yeah, fine. It takes a bit of getting used to, but shit, it's not like you're on your own. You know, you can check out this challenge22.com. I've spoken about it a lot. Those guys literally they volunteer like hours and hours of their time to help people like you to stop paying for these products and get the alternatives and learn how to eat in a way that doesn't pay for violence. And so it's not like you're on your own. If that's the real concern, if it's kind of like the fear of the unknown, then well, yeah, that's covered. You can get help with that.
I get what I just it's not that I'm alone. It's not just about like big change. It's just I don't feel like it. I sound really bad, but like I just don't feel like doing it. It's just not something that I would want to do.
Okay, well, you need to make a decision. It's either you care and you care about animals and you don't want to see them go through that shit, or you don't care and you don't do anything about it. It can't be both. You can't have it both ways. I mean, you can say, oh well, I'm sanctimonious and all these things. Some people are probably going to be like, who the fuck are you to say that? I'm just saying it how it is, man. You can't claim to care about someone and then pay someone to stab them, right? You got to agree with me on that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, that's what you're doing. That's what you're saying.
Now that I'm
though.
thinking about it.
Right, but that's what you're.
I'm thinking about it.
That's what you're telling me, though. That's why I'm saying it doesn't make sense.
Okay, if I have to pick one, I guess don't I swear if anyone hates me for this, I guess I don't care because if I'm now thinking about it, the only reason I looked away from the video is because I don't like gore things. And it's gory. It's like not like but I didn't care for the animals. I just watched it like it was a normal video other than the parts that were gory. And now that I'm like saying that, it's just like it feels like a weight has been lifted off my chest since I said that. I don't know why. But I guess I just don't care.
Yeah, look, yeah, I think if that's where you're at, if you don't care, if you see those images and you see animals screaming, begging for their lives, and you don't care about them, then well, I would recommend no one else speak to you in the server because I'd say that there's no point in talking to somebody who's like that. There are plenty of other people out there in the world who have empathy and aren't, so cold and ruthless towards animals. And I think we'd rather focus on those people, not people who enjoy, them going through hell so they can have a burger, to be completely honest with you. So we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for coming up anyway and saying your piece. And yeah, I'll leave it to other people if they feel that they still want to talk to you here or not. But as I said, I would say I wouldn't bother if that's
I
where
don't
you're
really
at.
talk in the server either way. I kind of just like look at the stages,
Sure.
see what's going on.
Well, yeah, maybe stick around and do that then, and maybe you'll find some empathy and stop being a cold-hearted animal hater at some point. We can only hope.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
All
bye.
right. Bye-bye. Thanks. Cool. There we go. Took a while to get to the conclusion of that one, didn't it? All right. Where are we up to now? How's it going in the chat, guys? Okay, we've got a few donations here. Jeremy Mann's in the chat. He says, I'm the kid that talked to you, Jeremy Mann. Thanks so much for the donation, dude, and good to see you here in the chat. Nice that you come and found the channel. Subscribe and check out the videos. There's a lot to get into. Tyke269 also donated 1369. Thank you so much for the 13. It's a strange number, but I guess it converted it from another currency. Thank you so much. Your hard work and everything that you work for is much appreciated. Thank you so much. And Jeremy Mann comes back again with another $1 donation. Thank you. Take a bite. The vegan side has many abilities some consider to be unnatural. What? That's funny. What abilities? Like the ability to lose all of your friends in one day. You tell them all you've gone vegan. That's an unnatural superpower. Or the ability to check this out, right? When you go vegan, it's amazing. Everyone around you immediately becomes a nutritionist. Like, I mean, literally, they are unqualified. And the second you say I'm vegan, they have a certificate. And it's just like, they just immediately got their PhD in nutrition. It's like, bam, it's just instant. They don't even need to study for it. It's like there's like a hive mind. And it just kind of pops into their mind, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm a nutritionist now." And then they've got the certificate, gets sent to the phone sometimes if there's no printer nearby, and they're just like, "Yeah, here's my." It's incredible. It's incredible. This is very much an unnatural ability that vegans bring out in people. It's amazing. So if you want to become a nutritionist, just talk to a vegan and try and argue with them. You'll immediately become a nutritionist. It's incredible. So I've been at this now for like 2.5 hours. I think we'll do a little bit more. I'm slurring speech a little bit because B12 deficiency starting to kick in. You know how it is, guys. Yeah, the sarcasm, by the way, for anyone who's not following. Sarcasm. I don't actually have B12 deficiency. All right, sarcasm. All right, we've got a few people lined up. We've got a vegan here. Maybe we can do a little break and bring the vegan in, see what I think they're vegan anyway. Unholy Diver, which is a great name. Play Unholy Diver. Hi.
Hey, hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, cool. I was having some audio issues the other day when I came on stage.
Okay, seems to be good, yeah.
So I have a brutal opinion about vegans, despite being a vegan.
Yeah. Go for it.
That most vegans are way too lazy and they're way too apologetic about non-vegans.
Right.
Like they just don't. at least in the vegans you meet in real life, the kind of people that, as you would say, are just basically tweeting about it and not actually doing anything about it.
Right.
And I think that's too prevalent in our movement. And also the fact that there are vegans that are way too apologetic for non-vegans. They're like, oh, it's fine. Even a little bit of change matters, yada, yada, yada. The pick me stereotype that
Yeah.
Vegan YouTube likes to talk about a lot right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think with the Twitter point, I think I agree and disagree on that. Well, the second point I'm totally with you on. I get really frustrated with people who are like really apologetic, who are just very like oh shit, how did my light go off? Yeah, people who are just like really like making excuses, for people when they come up with the bullshit. A great example of that actually just happened. Serena Williams was talking about how she's like, I cheat on veganism sometimes, blah blah blah. Just some absolute soft ass bullshit, like she's worth $100 million, and she's telling people how she finds it sometimes it's difficult. It's like, no, it's not difficult. You've got like, you could hire how many private chefs? It's an absolute joke. Like, you of all people have no excuse at all, right? But anyway, loads of vegans are in the comments defending her. It's just so sad to see. It's like, if she was like a single mum of 9 in some rural village in some developing country, yeah, okay, you could say she's doing the best she can do, for the circumstances. But when it's like a multi-millionaire, what are you? Why? I saw vegans saying she's doing her best, guys. Oh my god. Anyway, I could rant about this forever. They just throw the animals under the bus every fucking opportunity, and it pisses me off. These kind of people. So yeah, totally agree on that one. But the Twitter one, I kind of agree. Like, yeah, there's a lot of performative activism for sure, but also I think social media vegans, like vegans who spend all of their time doing activism on social media, like just posting, I think it's definitely got utility. I think it can be really good. I suppose it depends on what they're posting and kind of why, I guess, But yeah, I've seen social media is a really easy place to reach a lot of people. So I think if they're doing social media activism only, I think that's fine personally. But I guess I don't know if that's what you're referring to, or if there's something more specific than that you had a problem with.
More specifically, the kind of inactive tweet about veganism, or like an inactive comment about it on somebody else's post. Like, for example, a lot of vegans on Twitter always preface their statement about veganism like, oh, this is for me, and don't feel obligated to do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And my point is, they tweet about it, right? But a lot of them are at the same time being apologetic about it as they're trying to do quote unquote activism on social media.
Yeah, it's just gutless.
And
yeah,
it's crazy. And I recently learned that Martin Luther King Jr.'s son, Dexter Scott King, is also a vegan activist.
Okay.
And I've been thinking he's been a vegan since at least I think it was like sometime in the 80s.
Right.
And he got his mom, Martin Luther King Jr.'s wife, to go vegan in 1995.
Damn.
So here we have the family of one of the biggest, social rights advocates of our time, and arguably throughout history. And all these other vegans on Twitter are doing pretty much comparatively nothing, because all they're doing is being apologetic about it. They're not actually fighting for a cause.
Yeah, I get it.
It's just crazy to me,
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it really upsets me when you see people, vegans, massaging the egos of people who don't want to change, right? Like, for example, the last conversation that I had was reasonable, but when I realized, like when someone's just saying like, "Oh, I don't care," like I don't care about the animals. I see what they go through, and I don't give a shit. Then the time of being reasonable is kind of over at that point. It's like, well, I'm still reasonable, but you say, look, I've got better people to talk to than you. Like, you are not a good person to talk to. Like, you are selfish, and you lack empathy. you know, I wouldn't even want to be your friend. I don't think many people want to be your friend. Like, why? Who the fuck wants to be friends with someone who says those things? So it's not even just like a vegan thing. It's like you're just not a nice person. Like you, it's that simple. So, and it really annoys me when people make excuses for people who say shit like that. Like, or I don't know. It's not about attacking them or you know. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's like you can either you could just say nothing, right? This is the thing. This is an option. If you can't give a strong message for the animals, and your message is going to be apologetic or making excuses, just don't say anything. You have the choice to shut the fuck up, and you should probably choose it. Like if you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen, right? Don't criticize activists who are able to say it how it needs to be said. Don't criticize people who fight for the animals and are not soft and you know talking shit like you are, and just either do your bit in a strong way and defend the animals, or don't do it. Like don't do anything. If all you can offer is, hey guys, everyone's on their own journey, you know, we need to be. If that's all you can offer, maybe just don't do it. You know, like until you feel more comfortable being stronger and speaking properly and actually talking about animals properly, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I actually think maybe one of the major causes for this is the crowd, as you would call them, the woke flakes. You know, this woke quote unquote far left, because I don't actually think that they're far left. I think that woke culture is inherently selfish. But that they really only care about things that allow people to do whatever they want to do, and thus that causes them to be apologetic for other people who want to do something.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a whole this whole culture of yeah, if you fit into a certain demographic, then you can do anything basically, and no one can question you. And this whole it's a whole culture, it's a whole subculture now, isn't it? Like everyone's a victim of something or another, and if they're not, they'll make something of it. And they're using this as an excuse to get out of personal responsibility and accountability. And then there are many vegans who are on board with that, and they support their lack of personal accountability and responsibility. Yeah, it's a mess. It is. Yeah, the woke flakes, vegan woke flakes, vegan flakes. Yeah, they're the worst, man. They're the worst. They're making it quite difficult to get a proper message across. Like, can you imagine if these people existed? You were talking about Martin Luther King earlier. Could you imagine if these people existed in his time and they were trying to pull this shit on him? Like, yeah, you know, yeah, we know, like, you know, we know that, like, you know, black people deserve rights, but some people just aren't ready to understand that yet. So you need to understand and give them time. And look, it's a process. Okay, no, like these people would have been told to shut the fuck up. It would have been like laughed out of these places. It would have been just insane to imagine someone coming out with that shit in his time. But we're in 2021 now, so everyone's a victim, and we have to apparently listen to everyone and, you know, their lived experience, whatever the fuck that means. Anyway, yeah, I'm with you. It drives me mad, drives me insane.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we probably need a vegan equivalent to Malcolm X.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I don't know who that would be.
All right, well,
but yeah, who knows? I mean,
yeah, I have no clue.
The thing is, in 2021, with the reason these people that we look to now is like, oh my god, like they're revered, is because they were standouts, because it was so hard to get noticed. Sorry, it was, what's the word? It was hard to get noticed, yes, but once you got noticed in those times, it was not like there were many competitors, because the spread of information was nowhere near as it is right now, right? Social media wasn't a thing. So I think it would be so difficult to create a Malcolm X or an MLK, to have someone like that now, because there's just too many people trying to do that, you know? There's too many people, and there's too much choice, and there's too much distraction. So it's kind of a shame that we're not really going to see, I don't think we'll ever see revolutionaries like the ones of the past, because of social media and how there's just too much distraction, you know? There's too much. It's too easy to get an audience now. You don't even need to do anything special. You, just,
Yeah.
you
I
know, you
mean,
just film yourself
even
doing
a
something
modern
stupid and you'll get fucking 2 million followers. It's insane.
Yeah, that's true. Even a modern Almighty would be really useful, I think.
A modern, what was that? Sorry, who?
Almighty,
I don't know who that is,
you know,
actually.
so he was a philosopher during the tail end, or maybe during the Mid Ottoman Empire.
Okay.
He was a staunch atheist and a vegan. He
Okay.
actually wrote some vegan poetry.
Awesome. That's really cool.
There's still, there's still statues of him today in the Middle East. Although, certain organizations symbolically behead his statues for various reasons.
Definitely inbox if you could send me, like, DM me that name and I'll check it out. Definitely.
Oh yeah,
If
I
that's
can
all
do
right.
that for you.
Cool. Yeah, cheers.
But yeah, thanks for having me on. I should probably get going, but
Cool.
I
Well,
just
good to have you.
figured that maybe having a vegan on would be a good thing for the non-vegan audience, and also maybe for the vegan audience as well.
It's nice. It gives people a bit of, it gives the non-vegans a bit of an insight into the mindset, our mindset, and obviously the vegans watching get a bit of an inspiration, I suppose, to be strong, be as strong as you can be. But again, if you can't be and you find yourself sounding a bit soft, apologetic, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being calm, but if you find yourself making excuses for people, maybe pull back a little bit until you feel more confident being a firmer voice, right? Because as long as, in my opinion, as long as someone has a solid message, as in they're animals first and really, really trying, you can't really go wrong with that if you're putting the animals first. If you're not, then you can go very wrong, and yeah, then you cause a lot of problems. I think that's the kind of golden rule.
Oh yeah, 100%. And before I go, I encourage anybody who has the ability to donate to any animal sanctuary that they might live nearby, or even just become a pioneer or something online. I can probably drop a few animals. Well, I can probably at least drop the pioneer link in the chat for anybody that's interested, and I'll DM you the Almari stuff, and also drop just that kind of general thing in the chat as well.
Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
See ya. All right, guys. So that was cool. We've got we'll do one more, I think. We'll see how this one goes. And yeah, thank you so much for Jeremy, man, who donated another $1. He's still here hanging out. Love it. And says hi. Hi. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. All right, let's see. We've got someone here. Dyslexic Potato is going to come up. Let's have a see what Dyslexic Potato's got to say. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How's it going?
I just want to say hi. I just want to say two things before.
Okay, go ahead.
Just one, my Wi-Fi is quite bad, so if at any point I cut out, I'm sorry
Okay.
for then.
No worries.
Two, you seem like a really chill person. You are fighting for something you love. I take my hat off to you. I respect that for you.
Cool. No, thanks. Appreciate it.
But I have a few things. My honest opinion on veganism is that it's another thing that is really wrong with the world, and I think the thing that I think about is that, for example, you have people who go to places like Africa, and they spend a lot of their life helping children who are who are starving, and in all fairness, they don't criticize anyone who doesn't do that. Do I think that everyone should go out and help children in Africa?
So is that a question for me? Oh, he cut out. Okay. Oh, they completely went. Okay. I guess the Wi-Fi cut out, or I don't know. See if they'll come back, or that was getting juicy. So It's a very interesting. So people going to Africa. I won't respond yet because I want to see what what else they were going to say. But if they don't come back, then I'm going to have to respond without them. It was getting interesting, wasn't it? It was an interesting one. It was getting interesting. Just have to wait and see if they come back or not. How's it going over here in the chat? You guys are looking very active about that one. Lots of Africa, those. Yeah, it comes up. What about the kids in Africa? It's a common one. But yeah, okay. Let's not jump the gun. All right. Let's just have a see. Well, no, Fee, I'm going to talk to this person. This is interesting. Because I already, I feel like I've got an idea of where it's going to go, and I'm interested to see if I was right or not. This is like, it's like watching. It's like I've watched the beginning of a good movie, and then like I don't know, it cut out, and I'm like, oh god, I need to know how it ends. You know, I'm like that, guys. I'm like that. I've got a really bad thing where, God, if someone tells me the beginning of a story and they don't tell me the end, it will, oh God, you don't understand. It drives me fucking insane. I think it's part of the, I actually did a, one of those like professional kind of tests for autism a while ago. And it put me on the spectrum, like quite high on the spectrum. I think this is kind of something to do with like a lot of little things like that they just drive me insane. Like little habitual things. Yeah, my youngest brother also has autism. I don't think it's hereditary, but yeah, I understand a lot about it. I even studied it, so it was quite surprising for me to do this test and see that. Oh wait, I'm like quite high on that. It's interesting. So I think this is something to do with it. So this is going to bother me if we don't get a conclusion. All right, they're back. Thankfully.
Sorry about that.
Don't worry. You were just saying about people who go to Africa to help
I
kids.
just think, yeah.
Not telling
I
other
just
people to
think
go there,
that-
right? So go ahead.
I just think that with these people, you know, I take my absolute hat off to them because they're
Yeah.
doing something amazing for the world.
Sure.
I think that they aren't going about and necessarily saying to other people, I don't think that vegans should scream at other people, not necessarily scream, but for the media representation of them, a lot of them, it is very, because you are not vegan, your morals, they are not in the right place. Which, to a certain extent, I understand where they're coming from. You know, I understand that, you know, if you are contributing to this, are you necessarily a good person? But at the end of the day, there are a lot of vegans who will say this and then they will contribute to global warming. You know, they will be ignorant bliss when it comes to the children, say, in Africa who are starving, or just people in general who are starving.
Sure.
You know? And
So let's yeah, if you want, do you have something more to say? Or was that the main point?
no, continue, please.
Okay, cool. So then, all right, you got to think about. I get what you're saying, and I agree with the people who go to. I've done that. I've been to Africa. I've been to Tanzania and did some work there, and so yeah, and I wasn't telling other people like you should fucking do that because, you know. But the reason I wasn't telling other people you should go and do that too is because them not doing that or doing that is not gonna hurt those kids, right? If their daily actions directly hurt those children, then I would be in their faces screaming at them. Just like if you were in a chocolate store, chocolate shop, and some activists came in and you were just buying some chocolate, and they said got in your face and said, "Put that chocolate down, don't buy it. That chocolate is slave chocolate." In Africa, there are kids, literal child slaves, and I know this because this specific brand does that, and we have already proven it. Here's the evidence. Would you be like angry about that, or would you be thankful that that activist came in and told you before you spent your money on that horrible shit.
No, I'd be thankful that they came in and told me.
So that's the difference between going to Africa and helping kids and why people don't preach about it versus why people do preach about slave chocolate, right? Because both of these are coming from Africa, slave chocolate and also, going to help kids in Africa, both Africa related or countries in Africa. But one of them doesn't cause people to scream in faces, one does. And one gets people very angry and because people are contributing to it and causing the suffering and these people to be victims. So that's the same with animals and veganism. The reason that vegans are in your face and getting in your business is because you are the reason that this is happening to animals. If you weren't the reason it was happening, nobody would be in your face. Because why would anyone be in your face? You're not doing anything to the animals. But as it happens, most people are doing something. So, I no, don't get me wrong. I'm not really into getting in people's faces and shouting in their faces. Some people do that, whatever.
No, yeah, I understand.
I will go into a restaurant and I will shout to the room. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy to do that. But it's not like I don't think many people are actually going grabbing people by the scruff of the coat and going, listen to me, you motherfucker. Like, I don't think that's really happening. So, it does happen. Don't get me wrong. And, it's not great when that happens. But, going into a room and announcing to everybody, like, hey, look, listen, this is happening. Look, if people were doing that in a chocolate store for the slave chocolate, everyone would be happy that they knew about that. And no, they'd be pissed off probably that, they wouldn't like it. But the media would love that shit. They'd be like, these people defend the children. They would be very happy. But the media doesn't like vegans because, I don't know, it's drama, isn't it? They just like to create hatred and division. So
I think a lot of, because like you said, you've gone into, the internet don't like vegans, which you are mostly right on that, yes. And I also think, if, say, someone like you were in the place of, I'm only saying this person because really she's the only person I can think of who's a representative of veganism, the vegan teacher.
Yeah.
I think if you were in the place of the vegan teacher, veganism would be shined in a better light, I think, because with the vegan teacher, she was very up in people's faces, as you know, but that's not really the point that I want to get down.
How could she be in people's
I think
faces
she was.
on social media? How is she in your face on her own social media?
No, personally, I think that it's like a lot of things. I think the point that she was trying to get across was right. The way she was getting it across was wrong. I think if she was to, for say, there was a video that I saw on TikTok of a girl who was reacting to the vegan teacher. She a young girl, you know what I mean, like 11, 10. And she was just kind of like, well, I'm not vegan, am I going to go to hell?
Yeah.
And the vegan teacher went, well, yeah, you are, da 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 da. She got very, well, oh, yeah, you're going to go to hell because you're killing innocent animals, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Do I think that's the way she should have told a 10 to 11-year-old? No, I think the way she should have come across was in a way where you're not frightening. You're just explaining to the child that, hurting animals isn't right.
Yeah, I mean, they cut out again. Damn, that's a really bad time to cut out. We have to keep remembering now of what actually was said. Oh man, people really don't like. Well, not people, but like a lot of people on Discord do not like the vegan teacher, do they? They don't like Miss Katie. So whilst we're waiting for them to come back, let's have a look. We've had a few. Jeremy Mans donated again. Thank you, 246. Thank you so much for that. Says Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription code. Giving away a subscription code to Xbox Game Pass. I don't play Xbox anymore, but hey, someone could use that. Appreciate it. Thank you. Julie for Animals donated $5 and said, David, you rock. Thank you very, very much for your support. I really appreciate it. I love the little Ryback. Do you like the Ryback eating crisps, by the way? I think it's hilarious. That's why I'm keeping it there. I don't know if he knows I'm doing it. I'm going to tell him. And Fee super chatted, but unfortunately it didn't. There's no message. Fee, what was the message that YouTube didn't give? I can read it out on the stream. It's okay. Just write your message that you wanted me to say, and I can say it. Is my laptop angry? Yeah, my laptop's shouting at me right now. It's not happy. We've been streaming for too long. The laptop's saying, David, stop. You're gonna lose your mind. I don't agree though, laptop. I'm good. Love All Animals donated $1 and says, "Thank you so much. I'd go vegan, but I can't pick up vegan groceries on Walmart because there's kids starving in Africa." Kids starving is not funny, but that's a funny statement. Okay, just to be clarifying here, like don't cancel me. Fee, 2 hours of discussion with non-vegans. I take my hat off to you. Lol. Thank you. Thanks so much, Fee, for taking that hat off to me. Appreciate it. I'm doing all right though. It's been nice. This is much nicer to do than on the street. Trust me. The street activism is rough. Like, and not like the Cube of Truth and stuff. What we've been doing is actually with a microphone stopping people in the street. That shit's hardcore. Fortunately, I've got a very cool friend here. His name's Vasilius. He's on YouTube as it's all Greek, but I did a video. I'll link it later. I feel bad now. I should find his I should find his YouTube. 1 minute. It's a Greek name. That's why I can't remember what the bloody thing is. I did a video with him as well. I'm gonna have to. I can't find it. I'm gonna have to find it later. I don't remember what it was called. Anyway, he's very, very good at this. He's very good at the street interviews. So he's inspiring me a lot. Oh, Spy Yes, Spy Knight. Sorry, I got your previous donation here. Keep up the great work. It's nice seeing you on ARA since I've been a part of ARA for some long time and following you for a long time. Vegan for life. Thank you so much, Spy Knight. And then you followed up. You said, "I think you missed my last donation. I'm going to donate until you notice." All kidding aside, love your work. So great seeing you on ARA since I've been apart for a while. And thank you so much. I should have just ignored you so you keep donating. I'll be too mean. I couldn't do that. That's not fair, is it? All right. While we're waiting for this person to come back, I'll just let you guys know that I've added a few new perks to the Patreon. So go check it out. Patreon.com/David Rams. There's now new roles you can get. You can go from Meat Flake Detector all the way through to Meat Flake Annihilator, depending on how you want to join, like how much you want to join for. They all have different perks, and some of them are pretty cool now. Some of them are going to include like previews for the videos. Some of them include a free t-shirt. What else have we got there? Q&As. We're doing Q&As now. Like, so if you have questions for me, I will do specific patron-only Q&As, and no one else is going to see them apart from the Patreon team. So this is pretty cool, and you get to support me and help the channel grow. Excuse me. So it's a win-win. Check it out. Patreon.com/David Rams. Go and check it out. And I think just go and check it out because it's funny. I've made like little pictures for each category, and they're pretty cool. I'm quite happy with them, like little memes. So go and have a look, if anything, just to see what it's all about. This person's still not coming back. Oh, it doesn't look like it. I guess what I'll do is, I'm going to wrap it up anyway at this point, but I want to answer what they were saying. I can't remember what they were saying now. Can you guys remember what that person was saying? Can someone help me in the chat? Like, I can't remember. I got distracted and talked about something else. What was the last thing they were saying? Do you remember? In the chat, let me know, please. What the fuck happened here? No. In the chat, let me know. Let me know what they were saying. Come on. Quick. Africa, though. Yeah, they were definitely doing Africa, though. Love All Animals. I read out your... Oh, yeah, it's here. Got it. Love Animals donated $1. I missed it. I'd go vegan, but I can't... Yeah, I read it. No, I read it out. What are you talking about? You're in the chat telling me you don't... I saw it. Thank you so much. I read it out. Did you miss it? Maybe you're watching on a delay. That could be it. Anyway, yeah, it was the kids in Africa point, and I think we got through that about that, didn't we? Like kids yes, there are people suffering for sure. There are people suffering in Africa. There are people suffering in India. There are people suffering in most countries, some more than others, especially like developing countries. And but that has no impact on what we choose to do or not do with our own lives, as in, why would you not go vegan because somebody in Africa can't go vegan? If that was where it was going to go, that just makes no sense. And the only way that we're going to get to a point where the majority of people can live a healthy plant-based life and they're not starving, they're not having struggles with food, they're not having to kill animals, the only way that that's going to happen is if the people who can do, right? Because like it or not, the most privileged, richest people in the world kind of determine what happens to the poorest. So if the richest, most able people start consuming and living a certain way, it normally ends up happening that it makes it easier for the poorest to also access these products, because these products become more available and produced and cheaper as competition increases. For example, soy milk. Soy milk in the UK started off at like, I don't know, £3 for a carton, and now it's like 60 pence. This doesn't happen unless the people who can afford it buy it and then create competition. And you know how it works, right? So yeah, there are people who are very poor in the world, but the only way they're going to ever have a food system that can get them plant-based food, that can get them food, is if people adopt a system that doesn't take resources and put them into only rich people food, like killing animals and eating their bodies and using their bodies for all manner of things. The amount of plants it takes to feed those animals is incredible, and most of those animal products are fed to rich people. It's not like they're going to the poorest people. It's not like the whole animal agriculture is designed to save the poor. It is not. It is designed to serve the rich, and the animals are going through fucking hell. So there's so many reasons to go vegan, guys. There's so many reasons. I've been through most of them today. Thank you so much to everybody in the Discord server who has been involved and helped put this on. Thank you to Animal Rights Advocates server. Go and check those guys out. The link is in the description. And to everybody who donated, thank you so much, everybody. You're legends. Absolute legends. You're keeping this channel up and afloat. Check out the Patreon team. Like I said, you can really help me keep pushing forward. And yeah, there's a few updates to give you, but I'll give those a different time, I think. But just to give you a bit of an idea, I think in the future, all of my live streams, I think I'm going to move them once they finish to another channel, a second channel. It's going to be only for live streams and longer videos and interviews. They'll all be hosted here, then they're going to go over there and be posted later. I think it's going to help streamline this channel. So this channel becomes a place to go and binge watch the skits and the fast videos and the funny videos and the reactions. And like, I think I'm going to keep David Rams for that. And I think the second channel is going to be for the long form videos. So if you want to get into some interviews, you go to the second channel. If you want to just binge my content, the quick stuff, you stay on this channel. For new people, I think it's going to be really useful, and I think it's going to help the channel grow. So that's a little sneaky peek update for you. If you want more updates like that, I'll say it one more time, you got to join the Patreon team, because that's where I make them. Patreon, they get everything before anyone else gets it. So get over there. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great evening, morning, afternoon, or whatever it is, wherever you are.